throw, throws back inside, reaching up, making a catch, touchdown, Seahawks! Are you kidding me? It is DK Metcalf. They give it to Swift, left side, gets the block, inside the 5, to the end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions.
Burrow takes the snap, hands it to Mixon, Knight's inside for the first down, keeps fighting toward the end zone, it's a touchdown! Joe Mixon takes it in!
Nobody's having more fun than these guys. Join the party and pregame with Front Yard Fantasy on Better Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy, Week 14 edition. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, John Luke Garofalo and Joey Wright. What's up, boys?
What up?
You guys doing all right this morning?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My family went to my family Christmas party without me, so I'm doing really
And
well.
I went to my friend's family's Christmas party.
Oh, that's nice.
Great. Yeah.
And I
with his family.
don't have friends, so I did not go to
wow.
a Christmas party. But it's the holiday season. We got all sorts of holiday parties going on. We got holiday
Joey,
shenanigans.
your family says hi.
Oh, was that okay? Yeah,
I got it now, Joe.
There it
you
is.
wouldn't last long there with JL. You would explode. Yeah,
Guys, we have a bunch of awesome games going on this weekend. A lot of news we need to cover, a lot of things to get you up to speed before week 14 kicks off. Big shout out to Ravens, Seahawks, Lions, and Bengals radio for those play-by-plays in the introduction. And they brought up some things we need to talk about. Joe Mixon returning to action today. We're going to see him back on the field. He is through concussion protocol, so if you had some Samaje Perine in your lineups, it might be time to sit him back on the bench, but it was a fun 2 weeks with him. DeAndre Hopkins returning to game day action, as well as Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins. And if you've been missing some Mike Williams in your lineups, he is back as well this week.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw! Joe, you trusted Mike Williams first week back?
Oh, yeah. I trust Mike with
with anything. You trust him to
literally
babysit?
anything. I'll trust him to babysit Joey's kids, that's for sure.
To cook an impossible meat meatloaf for you and 7 guests?
Oh, I bet he's a delicious cook.
And to get you...
And I bet his food's good, too.
And do you trust him to be a top 12 wide receiver this week against the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, I do.
Just
at the end.
Test you. We'll see how well Mike Williams does in that return. Some players who you cannot rely on this week who are out. We've got Rondale Moore, Arizona Cardinals wide receiver, who will not be playing. Hayden Hurst will be out this week against the Browns as well. Nico Collins for the Houston Texans will not be playing, as well as Brandon Cooks. And Jacoby Myers for the New England Patriots will not be on the field. Titans are down to just 2 active wide receivers on their roster. Treylon Burks is not playing this week. It's Robert Woods and NWI for those Tennessee Titans. And Joey, I know you were mentioning before the show, you got some NWI love this week, right?
Who is
Yeah.
NWI?
I
For
was-
people who don't know who
Nick
NWI
Westbrook. Nick Westbrook
Thank
Ikine is who NWI is. Nick Westbrook Ikine, wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. Joey, you're a little excited about him, right?
Yeah. I was going through my prop bets on Thrive before the show and saw that it was 30.5 yards, and I was like, oh, I'm going to smash that over. Without Treylon Burks today being the second wide receiver on the team, I think he can easily hit 30 yards, 31 yards would be. So yeah, I smashed that for a $1.
I saw some
Right,
comments
that's
this
a pretty good deal.
morning out there like, it's Robert Woods season, and someone commented like, hell yeah, 4 catches for 36 yards. Here we come, baby.
Ooh, 0 touchdowns.
And that's about how I feel about it. Like, yeah, it bumps these guys up a little bit, but there's still secondary receiving options in this rush-heavy offense for the Tennessee Titans. It's the Derrick Henry show this week, baby.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Also, unfortunately, week 14, I know a lot of you are already in your playoffs as well. There are 6 teams on bye in week 14. The NFL schedulers must have a vendetta against fantasy football players, because we've got the Atlanta Falcons, the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers, the Indianapolis Colts, the New Orleans Saints, and the Washington Commanders all on bye in week 14. I have had to make more like crazy lineup moves this week than any other season of the year. I'm starting Mike Boone in 3 leagues. 3 leagues I have to start Mike Boone.
Boom.
God,
No.
just
That's
awful.
fun.
I
It's
would
terrible.
start Travis Homer over Mike Boone. Is Travis Homer available in those leagues?
Nope, gone
Oh,
in
man.
all 3 of those leagues. It truly was like Mike Boone or Amir Abdullah were like the options sitting out there on the waiver wire. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's where we're
Okay.
sitting right there. We're getting
Not
some
good.
news coming in that Saquon Barkley, who was questionable heading into this game, is active. So
right.
we're going to see some Saquon. And I see Maria in the chat. Good morning, Maria. Hello. Welcome in. And Mr.
Good morning,
Scamper
Maria.
said, good morning, FYFers. What up, Mr. Scampers?
Good morning, Stamps.
Yeah.
Tommy in the chat saying, yo, 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 it's Sunday. Let's go. What's
Tommy.
up, and Better Boston, you're saying, pump it up. We need a win. I don't know who we is, but collectively, all of us need that win, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, we do.
I'm giving him the pump.
That's the pump.
Yeah, that's the pump.
Tommy's in jail. Joey and Simon, give some great advice so I can keep rhyming. We'll do our best.
We're going to do our best, Tommy.
Tommy, the good news is that also works if you change the word to bad advice. It still rhymes. So
Still
as long as we
rhymes.
just give advice, you can keep on rhyming. And Albert over here saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Albert.
Albert, thank you.
Can I
Albert
tell you
popped
guys?
to my every show I was on this week. Albert popped in. I was on like 6 shows this week, and Albert was in the chat on every one of them. So thank you, Albert.
Albert's an MVP. Can I tell you guys about a ridiculous scenario in my girlfriend's league with the horrible settings that I've told
Please.
you about? I have talked about it endlessly on the show. I've brought it up multiple times, but in week 14, one of the settings, the one that requires you to have a minimum and maximum of 2 quarterbacks on your roster at all times, reared its ugly head this week. My girlfriend's 2 quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields.
Oh, that sucks.
She needs to win this week to make the playoffs and can only roster 2 quarterbacks. So we had to drop one of Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields to pick up Mike White to play against the Bills.
Did you
as
drop
next
Lamar?
Mike White season, baby. Let's go.
We had to drop Lamar because
That's what I
Lamar
would've
may not
done.
play until Christmas Eve. And it's an injury that is shown to be difficult to come back from even whenever players come back. So it hurt, but like we had to drop Lamar Jackson. Like this morning in a league, we dropped Lamar Jackson and picked up Mike White. Disgusting.
After this week, can you go pick Lamar back up?
That's the game plan. But it's also waiver priority, not free agent acquisition, not fab.
And he's got to clear waivers too.
And he's
Of
got to
course
clear
it is.
waivers.
God,
So that's
he's gonna be picked up.
he's going to be
Of
picked
course
up.
it is.
It's going to be gross. Guys, we got some questions in here to start
Ooh, I
the
like
day off.
questions.
Our friend Jay in here wants to know, should I start Travis Homer or Devin Singletary in full PPR? Joey, would you be rolling with Travis Homer or Devin Singletary?
I'm still going to roll with Singletary. I think Travis Homer is going to end up getting the lion's share of the work today in Seattle because DJ Dallas does not look like he's going to play. And they're saying Kenneth Walker's 50-50, but I don't believe him. So I do think Travis Homer is going to get the majority of the work, but I still like Singletary, the work he's been getting in Buffalo. Don't mind the matchup. It's not a great matchup, but yeah, it'll still be Singletary for me.
What about you, Jayo?
Yeah, Singletary as well. Jets are middle of the pack. Vegas expecting this to be a neutral game, 43 points. Singletary is just the better running back, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to roll Singletary as well in this one. But Travis Homer, very startable running back this week, especially with
Great
so many
name.
teams on bye.
Yeah,
And a great name, as
that
JL
is a
put
good
out there.
name.
Travis, very modern. Homer, very ancient.
Homer.
You mix them together, you get a very like modern ancient man. It's a throwback.
Modern ancient
name.
man.
The modern ancient man, Travis Homer, killing it. We had another question come in here, guys. This one from our friend Nixa. Nixa wants to know, should I start Matt Breida or Miles Sanders if Saquon Barkley doesn't play full PPR? Well, good news. Saquon Barkley's expected to play, so you can probably just start Saquon Barkley.
It's good news.
And if
Good
he didn't play,
news.
I would start Miles Sanders over Matt Breida if
Yeah.
Saquon for some reason doesn't play. What about you guys?
Yeah, 100%. Sanders has been good.
Sanders has been good. Joey
Yeah.
here wants. Oh, what's up, Joey?
I was going to say the Giants are allowing 23.7 PPR fantasy points per game to opposing running backs. So the Giants can be run on.
Yeehaw. Joe in here
Yeah,
wanted to know
again.
Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, or Mike Williams at the flex in a half PPR. John Luke, we were just talking
These are
about some
all
Mike
of my
Williams
guys.
love.
These are all of my dudes in one question.
Where you rolling,
This is-
Dale?
This stuff. Travis Etienne has Tennessee this week. Is going up against Baltimore. Mike Williams has Miami. I'm gonna go. You said full PPR.
Full PPR.
That makes it a little more annoying. I'm going to roll with Travis Etienne here. Going against Tennessee. It is a tough matchup, but Travis Etienne is the main guy in that backfield. Jacksonville uses him a ton just as an outlet valve here. I'm going Travis Etienne.
Joey, what about you? This one's tough for me.
Yeah, I'm the low guy on Travis Etienne this week. I love his talent. I've seen really capable running backs just get shut down by this Tennessee run defense. So it's going to be Mike Williams for me. Ton of upside there coming back. I don't normally like to start players coming back from injury, but I would rather play Mike Williams over both the running backs you have listed here.
Well, that was
what
was that, JL?
Is that
Yeah, I'll do that.
And I'm going to sit
go.
firmly in the middle on the animal noise
Go
bet.
Najee Harris.
No, I'm not starting. I'm not taking Najee Harris in this bet. And watch, now that I say that, he's going to outscore both of those guys. I'm going back and forth between Mike Williams and Travis Etienne. I think Williams has the much higher upside, but man, am I nervous about him first week back from injury, because we've seen him do this before. Come back from injury, play a couple snaps, re-aggravate it, not get back out there. If you need the upside, I would go Mike Williams, but Travis Etienne's volume is a bit safer. So I would throw him in there. But man, that is one of the tougher questions we've gotten so far of the three. Mm-hmm. Definitely the toughest, Joe, of the three we've answered. Fat golfer in here. What's up, fat golfer?
Hey, fat golfer.
Fat with
PHAT.
No. Yeah, PH, fat golfer. Said, in my super flex spot, should I play Mike White versus Buffalo or Sam Darnold versus Seattle? JL, are you taking Mike White versus Buff or Sam Darnold versus Seattle?
Ooh. That's a good one. I'm going to go Mike White again. Did shut down, or Buffalo shut down Mike White last year, but he's been playing well, and he's got this team support. Sam Darnold does not. He's filling in. He's just a warm body this week. I'll take my chances on Mike White.
What about you, Joey?
Pretty hot and tempting golfer. I want to talk to you directly right now. Now, Mike White would also be my choice. However, you have said a word there. You have said super flex. You have not said two quarterback. I'm curious if you might have a better option than Mike White at a position like a running back or a wide receiver that you would play. Like, say you do have Mike Williams. I would start Mike Williams over Mike White. Boy, I regret saying Mike Williams because those names were so similar. I thought I was going to slip up, but I nailed it. So good job, Joey. But yeah, it's Mike White, but look to see. Maybe you've got a better bench option because Mike White might struggle a little bit today too.
That's a great point, Joey. Of those two quarterbacks, I'm definitely rolling Mike White. I've got zero trust in Sam Darnold leading that.
I don't think they
offense.
have trust in Sam Darnold either.
No. I mean, maybe they just have trust issues, though. They just keep on trying these new guys. PJ Walker, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. It's
Simon.
Yep. Simon's going next week.
Uh-oh. I will last one snap. I truly think I would be like out for the rest of the season after one play, regardless of the outcome. No one would even have to touch me, and I would tear an LCL, an ACL, rip my meniscus. It would just be
ECL, DCL, ECL,
PCL,
FCL. All your CLs would be torn.
I played center the first time in 8th grade. It was first year I ever played like competitive football for my Christian school team. Yeah. I was pretty husky kid, and then I grew like 6 inches that summer. It was weird. Anyways, I had 3 false starts on my first 3 plays. I was not good.
Nailed it.
And then my coach moved me to linebacker, and then I did good.
We got some more news coming in here. Amari Cooper, who is questionable, is active today, so Amari Cooper will hopefully be playing in today's game. Go. We have a question from D. O'Neill in here. Wants to know Travis Homer or Raheem Mostert. So, Joey, are you starting Travis Homer with the news that Kenneth Walker is not likely to play, and neither is DJ Dallas, or are you starting Raheem Mostert against these Chargers?
I would start Travis Homer. Call me a homer, actually, but I don't like Seattle, so that makes no sense at all. I was trying to make a funny pun, but I couldn't do it. It's Travis Homer. I don't mind the workload that he's going to get today. I mean, Tony Jones is also going to be playing, getting mixed in there, but I think Travis Homer is the better player.
Now, what about you?
I go on the other side of this. I go Raheem Mostert going against the Chargers is a solid matchup. Second most points to the fantasy running back this Chargers team has given up. And Vegas expects this to be a high-scoring game. The total set at 53.5 points. So that's pretty high total here at Miami and the Chargers. Should be a good game. I think Raheem Mostert's going to get worked in.
Yeah. Mostert did out-carry Jeff Wilson last week, so that wouldn't be surprising if it happened again.
I don't expect that this week, but he did do that.
Be both a speaker of words and a doer of deeds.
Who said
Homer. Homer said that. You're starting Travis Homer in this one.
Nice.
At least for me.
Nice.
I'm going to roll him out there. Both Kenneth Walker and DJ Dallas are not playing. I like Travis Homer as a start. He's an RB2 for me this week. One more question here from Brad. Brad wanted to know Tyler Huntley or Deshaun Watson. Joey, you rolling out Huntley or Deshaun Watson? There was news coming out about Huntley that he was very sick last week. Whenever we did see him in the limited action, he didn't look good, but apparently he was dealing with the flu. What are you guys doing here?
I'm going to roll with Watson. Go ahead, Jay.
No, go.
I'm going to roll with Watson. I went and looked at Huntley's numbers from last year because I was under this mirage that he actually had some pretty good starts. And really, it was just Mark Andrews that looked good when he was the quarterback. So I'm going to start Watson. I think he got the rust off last week. It's a tough match against Cincinnati, but I trust him a lot more than I do Huntley.
What about you, John Luke?
Yeah. Actually, no. Fully agree with Joey. I am going to Deshaun Watson here. Huntley, he worries me. He worries me that Vegas expected this to be a very low scoring game. Huntley did not look good through the air last week. I'm going to go Watson.
Yeah, I'm going to go Watson here as well. I am nervous. I'm nervous because I feel like we just have a complete lack of information from that game last week. Watson looked bad in that game, but it was also about as game as you could have had, with the Browns scoring 27 points, but not a single one of them coming from an offensive touchdown. That'll change the fantasy numbers for a quarterback. So he looked rusty. Let's see if it looks better this week, but I'll start him over Tyler Huntley in that gross game. And Joe, you're right. That game just keeps looking grosser and grosser. 36.5 point over under in that one. Yuck.
Yuck indeed.
Yuck.
We had another question come in here. This one from Edward. Edward wanted to know, we need to choose two in full PPR between Chris Godwin, Ezekiel Elliott, DeAndre Swift, Jeff Wilson, and Rashad White. Also, for the Rashad White managers out there, Leonard Fournette, who was a limited participant in practice on Friday, is expected to play today, but we'll keep you updated on that. Joey, where are you rolling here? Which two of these would you be starting?
It's going to be Swift and Wilson for me. Two of the highest scoring games according to Vegas this week. DeAndre Swift looked like a return to form last week. He looked really great. And then Jeff Wilson, he did have a bad game last week, but that was more of a game script thing. So I expect Jeff Wilson just to run down the Chargers' throats tonight. Game I'm really looking forward. Both of these games are like my games of the week. These are the games I'm looking forward to the most. I do not even want to watch my Bucs play this week against San Francisco.
Jail out of this bunch, I think I'm with you, Joey. DeAndre Swift is the must start of this bunch for me. It's the one that stands out, as you got to get him in there because that game, I want all the pieces in that game. And it looks like he's back to having a full workload out of that bunch. And then I think you're right, Joey. It's Jeff Wilson as the next guy up. That's another matchup that I want pieces in, especially against the Chargers defense. They have been abysmal against the run. So I'll take a bounce back week. It was a weird week for Jeff Wilson last week.
I want to say it was John Mpemba on the show before us brought up that it was a game that Wilson, because he had just joined with the Dolphins, and he wasn't used to a game script like that, because every game before this with the Dolphins had not been like that at all. So it was more of it might not have been Mpemba. It might have been Coop. So one of those guys, good fantasy alarm guys, brought it up.
We got Coop in the chat saying, strong arm them all. What's up, Coop? Welcome in. And then he said, start not Demure Bird, even if there's a fire, from Plato.
Yes.
Joe, I feel like you're always saying that quote, JL.
I am. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Plato, and then who's that other philosopher you love?
Raheem Mostert.
Raheem Mostert, yeah, the famous Greek philosopher Raheem Mostert. John Luke, what are your feelings on Jeff Wilson this week? Because you did just select Raheem Mostert over somebody else. I can't remember. Over Travis Homer. Would you be starting Jeff Wilson over Raheem Mostert this week, or are you afraid there's some sort of split or switch going on there?
There's going to be a split. We've seen a split all year. Jeff Wilson, before this past week, was getting around 60% of the running back attempts as a Miami Dolphin. I expect that to continue. Bounce back this week. The Dolphins did not run as much last week. They ran like third of what they've been running, and so I expect Jeff Wilson to still be the leader in this running back field.
I'm with you. Al in the chat. What's up, Al? Welcome in, my friend.
What up, Al? Good morning,
Al.
Wow.
And Mr. Scampers want to know half PPR, Mike Boone or Nick Westbrook-Ikine. So Mike Boone, running back for the Denver Broncos, Nick Westbrook-Ikine, wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans.
Use his real name, Simon.
NWI.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now
Now
you know
that
who
we
we're
all
talking
know
about.
it.
Now that we all know it.
This is what happens every time you learn an acronym. You then proceed to overuse it.
My first job out of college, the very first thing I did, I was so confused for 2 weeks. And I was like, I know no one asked me to do this, but I'm spending the next week creating just a catalog of the 10,000 acronyms that people use here without explaining anything. Like everyone's just like, yeah, the NWI goes into QLMNOP plus you take the SRS minus the CV 220. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Let me get right on that for you.
CV 220.
Every military father should be given a manual like that to tell his family, like, we don't understand what you hear at work. Don't talk like that in the house. I support
JL,
our
Talk like that now.
Mike Boone or Nick Westbrook-Ikine, NWI, who's it going to be?
Ooh. Is this for you, Simon? Are you asking this because you're starting Mike
No,
Boone?
I wish I had NWI available to plug in a running back spot, but I can't. So Mike Boone or NWI, it's a tough
I'm gonna
one.
go with Nick Westbrook. I'm gonna go with Nick Westbrook. The matchup for him against Jacksonville is pretty solid. Yeah, Mike Boone. I'm not excited about starting Mike Boone in Kansas City.
Joey, what about you?
Full agree. It's Nick Westbrook. I mean, I'm putting money on him, so that means I must love him.
Yeah, you gotta put him in there. Terrell in here wanted to know PPR flex Slayton, Damian Pierce, Travis Homer, James Cook, or Zonovan Knight. So one flex between Darius Slayton, Damian Pierce, Travis Homer, James Cook, or Zonovan Knight. Joey, where are you rolling here?
I'm gonna say Damian Pierce because I got the shirt on, but also, I mean, those are some tough options, and I really don't like Damian Pierce's matchup today. But I do feel like he can get through this Dallas run defense, even though it's quite elite. That would be my option of these guys. I'm just not ready to trust the other ones yet.
What about you, JL? Where are you rolling here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Damian Pierce as well.
It's close between him and Travis Homer. It is. And Zonovan Knight, if it wasn't for that matchup, he would probably be the guy. But I'm going to roll Damian Pierce as well. You got to triple Damian Pierce.
For me, it's Michael Carter coming back. I would have started Zonovan Knight over Damian Pierce. I actually moved him behind Damian Pierce when the Michael Carter news came out that he was coming back.
There we go. Maria said, bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you too.
Somebody sneezed. Somebody sneezed over here. Nixa in here wanted to know, should I play the Tennessee, Pittsburgh, or Seattle defense or stick with Miami? So we've got Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and Seattle or Miami. Miami's going up against the Chargers. Pittsburgh going up against the Baltimore Ravens. The Tennessee Titans playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then who was the last one? The last one was those Seattle Seahawks, right? And who do the Seattle Seahawks have today?
Carolina Panthers.
That's right. So you got a bunch of good options there. Which way you rolling, Joey?
It's between Pittsburgh and Seattle for me. I'll probably roll Seattle. They're at home. Carolina's traveling cross country on an airplane to lose the game. So that's
pretty good.
My pick. Thank you.
It is a pretty far flight, and they are going to lose. I'm with you, Joey. I would go Seattle here as well.
Yep. Triple Seattle.
Tommy in the chat saying Pitt. He doesn't believe in Tyler Huntley at all.
It is a good play.
It is. Their defense has looked a lot better lately.
And Better Boston, you're saying, hasn't Seattle D looked horrible lately? They also haven't been playing the Sam Darnold-led Carolina Panthers. Yeah. So that's a nice recovery for a defense like that.
Nice and easy matchup for him.
Mitch in here wanted to know, said, friends, good morrow. Good morrow to you as well.
Sir.
I need to start one. Full PPR. J.K. Dobbins, George Pickens, Latavius Murray, or Leonard Fournette. So in this fine morrow of week 14, John Luke, would you be starting J.K. Dobbins first week back, George Pickens, Latavius Murray, or Leonard Fournette, who is reportedly playing?
Oh, man. This is a tough one. Do I trust him? Absolutely not.
Bonk.
Do I trust George Pickens going against Baltimore? Yeah, I'd say so. I think the guy I'm going to go with here is Latavius. He is the main running back here in this Denver Broncos backfield. We were just talking about Mike Boone. I expect Latavius Murray to get the bulk against Kansas City, and I think this is going to be a decent. I think Kansas City is going to score a good amount, and the Denver defense is fantastic.
I'm gonna roll Latavius Murray in this one as well. His work seems the most secure out of all of these guys. George Pickens is a fine start, but I'll roll Latavius. What about you, Joey?
I would roll George Pickens. We talked about earlier this week. It might be a squeaky wheel game for him. Before last week, he was looking like the best wide receiver in this Pittsburgh offense, and then one reception for 2 yards last week, and one temper tantrum. I don't know if you guys get points in your leagues for temper tantrums. If you do, Pickens had been a great start last week because that's all.
PPTR league.
Yeah.
PPTR.
PPTR. But yeah, it's Pickens for me. I think he can bounce back this week against Baltimore.
Is that a temper rantrum?
It's your rantrum.
That's a good band name. Let's start a band.
Temper
Rantrum.
We don't even know what it means, but figure it out.
Temper Rantrum and the Sauce.
We sing bubblegum pop death metal. Welcome to Temper Rantrum.
Temper Rantrum.
We got our first song written. We're good to go now. A question in here. Oh, another question from Mitch on this one. Would you start the Eagles defense or the Titans defense this week? So the Titans playing the Jaguars, like we said, the Eagles playing the Giants. Joey, which of those defenses are you rolling out?
I'm still going to roll the Eagles. I do think the Giants are an interesting matchup for the Eagles. Not because the Giants are some incredible team, but they're good at what the Eagles are kind of weak against. They got a good running quarterback, and they've got one of the best running backs in the league. So I think the Giants will actually compete today, but I still think the Eagles defense is the play here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm rolling Eagles defense out as well. What about you, John Luke?
Eagles D.
Triple Eagles D. Andrew Cooper in here with a question for us. Said Jared Goff or Kirk Cousins if I'm stacking that game in DFS? Please answer in robot voice. Thanks. So JL, Jared Goff or Kirk Cousins for that DFS stack? Which way are you rolling? And in a robot voice, if you could.
Yes. I will start Jared Goff.
Beep boop. Joey, what about you?
Boop.
So I do have to do the robot voice because I've got a good stat.
Otherwise, I don't think he can hear it.
In all of the home starts for Jared Goff this year, he has 1,887 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Jared Goff is a start over Kirk Cousins this week. Boop, boop, boop.
Error.
I don't know. That was bad. I'm sorry.
Error.
You killed it, Joey.
Oh, that was bad.
Killed it. Oh, man. Now that I made you guys both do it, I can't get away with probably just giving normal advice. Jared,
not at all.
Goff has the better options to stack with against the Minnesota Vikings. Start Jared Goff, but follow Tommy's advice and pair him with Hawk on the other side.
Nice. Simon. I like how you carried over the theme of the team names.
I did
just insert it in.
Jomsy, I did robot arms, didn't I?
Yeah, he said robot arms get bonus points is what Jomsy said down there. And Jomsy had a question for us. Wanted to know Bucks or Pats D this week. So the Bucks going up against the San Francisco 49ers, as we mentioned. And then the Patriots playing the Arizona Cardinals on Monday night. John Luke, which way you rolling here?
Brock Purdy. He sucks. Go Buccaneers.
Yep.
What about you, Joey?
Vegas says this is a very low scoring game this week. It's gonna be the Bucks defense for me.
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
Buck it up. I like that.
Yeah, Tommy's saying buck it up. I'm rolling Buccaneers as well here. I don't want to start the Patriots against the Cardinals on Monday night. I'm not thinking that's looking great. And we got Better Al in here saying, I think we need to have a robot voice workshop. Yeah, probably. If we get a pro in here to teach us some robot voice tips.
You come do it, Al.
You do it, Al. Guys, let's hit one.
I once had
question.
Oh, go ahead.
What's up, Joey?
When I worked at Barnes & Noble, Michael Winslow from the Police Academy movies came into my store one time. He does a really good robot voice. I don't think he'd remember me, though, because we only had one interaction.
And Tommy said we got the guy from Police Academy right as you started that, Joey.
Wow, really? Yeah, I met him. He's super nice.
Okay, we'll see if we can get him in here. Terrell had a question for us. Actually, that's the wrong question. Ensby had a question for us. And pick one in PPR, Jeff Wilson or James Conner. So, John Luke, you rolling with Jeff Wilson or James Conner?
I'm rolling with Jeff Wilson this week over James Conner. What about you guys?
Joey?
Yeah. I had to look. In my head, I was like, it's got to be Jeff Wilson, but because James Conner, they've got the Patriots. So no, but it's going to be Jeff Wilson. I love this matchup for him tonight. I love this game tonight. Hope my family gets stuck in traffic so I can watch it without them interrupting me.
This is gonna be a fun Sunday night football game.
That's the holiday spirit, Joey. I hope my family sits in bumper to bumper traffic so I can watch the game in peace. Damn it!
Listen, I took both my daughters to a college basketball game yesterday by myself, and my mom was supposed to come meet up with us, and she got stuck in traffic. So I don't really feel that bad about it. They did good. I did good at the game though. I made it out alive. So.
Guys, we're going to keep on answering all of your questions leading up to that 1 p.m. kickoff. So keep throwing them in the chat. We will make sure we get to each and every single one of them. Coming up after us, we're done here at 1 p.m. as games kick off, but there is a full day of live action watch parties here on Better Sports Network. From 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern time, you've got Better Zone with Corey Parsons, Adam Ronis, and Tom Casali. Then from 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern time, it's Better Zone with Holden Kushner and Greg Larnard. And then tomorrow morning, we are back at it again, the Front Yard Fantasy crew on the FYF morning show at 7 a.m. Eastern time, breaking down all the action that we're prepping everybody for this morning. So make sure you stick around. You're listening to Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy here on the Better Sports Network.
This is Jeff Power with Real Time Fantasy Sports, and I'm going to give you my 3 favorite DFS pick'em plays for Week 14 of the fantasy football season. Remember, don't forget to get in one of these great games here at Real Time Fantasy Sports. It's www.rtsports.com/DFS-pick'em and pick your favorite plays for the week and win big here. And use the deposit match right now that we're doing. Use the code BSN for a 100% deposit match for new users on the site. So just go to rtsports.com/DFS-pick'em, put in the code BSN for a 100% deposit match. Now, here's 3 of my favorite plays for this week. And my first one is Kirk Cousins, quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, and over 21.3 fantasy points. I know Cousins has been a little frustrating this year. He's posted some erratic numbers. But even with that said, he is 12th overall in fantasy quarterback scoring. He's had some big games along the way. He has 20-plus fantasy points 7 times this year. He's capable of the huge game any given week in this offense. And he plays the Lions this week. They allow the most fantasy points to quarterbacks, 27th overall against the pass. So I like Cousins and over 21.3 fantasy points. My next favorite play is Mike White, quarterback of the New York Jets, and under 247.5 passing yards. Now, White has played well since being inserted as a starter for the Jets. He's thrown for a lot of yards in each of his first 2 games, but he has not played a defense like the Bills just yet. Buffalo held the Jets to just 136 passing yards in Week 9. They allowed the 8th fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks and under 200 and just 218.3 passing yards per game for the season. So I think Mike White goes under 247.5 passing yards. And my last favorite pick and play for this week is Darius Slayton, receiver for the New York Giants, and over 46.5 passing yards. He has 6 straight games going over that 46.5 receiving mark. He has 85 plus yards, 3 or 4 games. He plays the Eagles this week. Now, they do have a pretty good pass defense, but I think the Giants are going to be playing from behind, having some struggles in this game, and having to throw the ball often. So I think that's good news for Slayton. I think he goes over 46.5 receiving yards. All right, those are my 3 favorite DFS pick'em plays for Week 14 of the fantasy football season. Remember, get in one of these great contests here at Real Time Fantasy Sports. Go to www.rtsports.com/DFS-pick'em. Use the code BSN for a 100 deposit match right now for new users on the site. Again, go to rtsports.com/DFS-pick'em. Get in one of these great contests today. Hope you have a lot of success with all of your games in Week 14 and you come out victorious. This has been Jeff Power with Real Time Fantasy Sports.
Who's in and who's out? You're pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy on Better Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy here on the Better Sports Network. It's just going to cut out. I'm going to be stuck here fist bumping. It is Week 14, baby. We've got 6 teams on bye. Some of your playoffs have started, but we're here to help you guys get ready for all of your matchups this week. We got some official inactives coming in. James Robinson officially inactive for the New York Jets, but Michael Carter off that list, back this week, gonna be playing. We also got official news. We already knew this, but Nico Collins and Brandon Cooks officially on that inactive list. And back on the Jets, Zach Wilson, inactive, not playing. They don't even have him active for this game. He's on that inactive list. Tough year for Zach Wilson. We had a question from A. Ross come in here a little bit earlier that we missed, guys. Wanted to make sure we answered this. Said he asked in the last show, but I like all analyses. He has Hurts and A.J. Brown in his lineup. Should I start Latavius Murray, Zonovan Knight, Devontae Smith, Travis Homer, or James Cook in non-PPR? So in standard, we're looking at Hurts, Latavius Murray, Zonovan Knight, Devontae Smith, Travis Homer, or James Cook, non-PPR. Joey, of those options, where are you rolling?
It's going to be Devonta Smith for me. In the last, he's had 9 targets in 4 games straight. I like the work that he's getting lately. Even in non-PPR, I'm rolling Devonta Smith out there. You did say Devonta Smith, right?
Absolutely, I did.
Perfect.
John Luke, what about you?
Smith is the guy that stands out. Though I would, you know what? I would also lean Latavius Murray. I'll go on the Latavius Murray side since Joey already took Devontae Smith.
That'd
Not
be my
PPR,
second
I'm
choice.
going for touchdown upside.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Man, I'm super close between those two. But Jail, I think I lean with you here. I think I lean with you here that I'm going to start Latavius Murray. His volume seems relatively safe in this game. I don't expect Mike Boone to too much, despite me having to start him in 3 leagues. That's pure desperation, not something I want to do. Latavius Murray is the lead guy here. Zay Jones is officially active, as is Trevor Lawrence. We're getting the news rolling in, guys, so I'm going to keep updating you as it hits here. Trevor Lawrence active. That was a big question mark, and Zay Jones also active. I know we were getting a ton of questions about Mr. Zay Jones all week. We had a question in here from Tristan. Tristan wanted to know Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, or Tom Brady this week. I'm rolling Goff out there. This matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, I want all the pieces. I'm rolling Jared Goff. Joey, what about you?
Yeah, it's Jared Goff at home. I moved him up to QB7. I love him this week. He's ahead of all those guys for me. And I have him ahead of Dak Prescott. I made that move this morning. I think this Cowboys game could be something where Dak doesn't need to throw a lot. He's got 2 really capable running backs. And I think Jared Goff's just going to ball out today. That game's just going to be a shootout. I love it.
Vegas agrees with you, Joey. 51.5 over under set of this Detroit Minnesota game. Jacksonville, Vegas expecting a forward and Tom in this Bucks San Francisco game. So Vegas is absolutely with you. They're also expecting to be a high scoring game. And so, yeah, I think Goff is the play.
Strong Style Ninja in here saying LOL, the robot voices. Glad you liked them, Ninja. And then saying Michael Winslow, best noise actor or best voice actor. Absolutely. Without a doubt. I was watching a show one time where they had to do sound effects and they have a third contestant. Without telling the other 2, they brought Michael Winslow in as the third contestant to play against him. And it was beautiful. It was incredible. Blurpy in here had a question for us. Wanted to know Mike Evans, Jerry Jeudy, or Zonovan Knight. So John Luke, help your friend Blurps out. What are you doing here? Mike Evans, Jerry Jeudy, or Zonovan Knight at the flex?
You got to start one of them. It's got to be. I think it's got to be Mike Evans.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Mike.
I'm like Jail. I keep having this debate over and over because I've got a lot of Mike Evans, and it's not like that. When you see Sam Fran on the other side, especially against a team with a non-mobile quarterback behind a poor offensive line, you start getting nervous about starting those receiving options. But over Jeudy and Bam Knight, I gotta roll. I gotta roll with Mike Evans. What about you, Joey?
Oh, it's Mike Evans between those options for sure.
We got triple Mike Evans there. High upside, low risk. And morning, boys. Need your help.
Morning.
What's up, high
Morning,
upside?
partner.
Need one flex in a standard league. Travis Homer, Dameon Pierce, James Cook, or Bam Knight. Joey, of those 4 running backs, which one you plugging in? Non-PPR.
It's still going to be Dameon Pierce for me.
What about you, JL? Dameon Pierce for you as well?
Yep, Dameon Pierce for me as well.
You got a triple Dameon Pierce, high upside, low risk.
I really hate that Miami game a couple weeks ago because that started putting doubt in my mind about Dameon Pierce that when the games get out of hand, they're just going to set him down. It's living rent free in my head.
M in here. M Suford 4 wants to know McKinnon or P Ryan half point PPR. This is where I roll Jerick McKinnon out there with Joe Mixon back. Samaje Perine does not have a role on this team. That's not to say he won't get some work, but Jerick McKinnon has a role carved out. He is the third down back. Isaiah Pacheco comes off the field. Jerick McKinnon goes in consistently. I know it's tempting with what Perine's done the past 2 weeks, but with Mixon back, I'm not starting him. What about you, Jay? You got a little more optimism for Perine maybe having carved a rollout here? Or are you with me on the Pacheco or the McKinnon side?
Here's the thing with these two guys is Samaje Perine has a really good matchup going against Cleveland. Jerick McKinnon has a really bad matchup going against Denver. So I can this is a question. I'm going to lean with you, Simon. I am going to go Jerick McKinnon just for the goal line work they've been getting him, the way they've been using him. But I wouldn't fall to go on the Perine side, take advantage of this matchup, and maybe they just work Joe Mixon in a little easy, like a little light workload to get him back in. I don't expect that. I expect Joe Mixon to get most of the workload, but if you want to take more power to you.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I was in agreement on who the player was, and that's in my head. Yeah. But Mixon, I could be fine this week. It's Jerick McKinnon. That's it. Yeah, there we go. I got it there. Jerick McKinnon. I'm going to chase the touchdown work like JL said about Latavius Murray. You chase the touchdowns on a matchup like this.
That's the worst. Sometimes, Joey, I'll start talking about a player, and then halfway through the sentence, I'm like,
Yep.
Who was that guy? Who was that guy that I was just saying words about? Because now I don't know what the next word's going to be. Mr. Josh in here. What's up, Mr.
Hey,
Josh?
Mr. Josh.
Pick two.
Mr. Josh.
Ramondre Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, or JWJ, Jeff Wilson Jr. It's those acronyms. Now we got another one, JWJ, NWI.
You started this, Simon.
I know, it's my fault. Mr. JL. Oh, look, another one. Now, who knows what JL stands for? JL, would you start Ramondre Stevenson?
Dontavius Liverstone, I think, we determined.
Dontavius Liverstone. Would you start Ramondre Stevenson, Jeff Wilson Jr., DeAndre Swift, or Jamal Williams? You got to plug two in.
Only one? Or plug two in, you said?
Two, yeah.
Then it's Ramondre Stevenson and DeAndre Swift. From lock those two guys in. Either one of them.
Joey, are you going to do what JL said you can't?
Man, I'm absolutely doing what JL said. No, yeah. I have Ramondre Stevenson the highest I've had him this season. I have him as an RB3 this week. I would play him over McCaffrey.
What?
That's how much I like Ramondre Stevenson this week.
That's spicy, but
McCaffrey's
I don't blame
4,
you.
though, so it's not that.
So you're like, I would barely do it. But I'm with you. It's gonna be Stevenson and Swift for me out of that bunch. But Jeff Wilson and Jamal Williams are great plays as well. I'm curious who's in your flex spot.
Yeah.
Because I would want to plug one of those guys in over there. Krana in here with a question wants to know Geno or Kyler this week. Joey, which of those quarterbacks are you rolling out in week 14?
It took a while today, but finally got to the back-to-back my rankings thing that I love so much. I would start Geno over Kyler. I like the matchup for Geno a lot against Carolina. Kyler's matchup against New England, a little tough for me. And Geno has been phenomenal this year. He's leading the league in completion percentage. Yeah, no. Yeah. And completion percentage, like Geno has been a shining star this year. So it's Geno.
There was someone on TikTok who put together like when they make a 30 for 30 about Geno Smith. And it was like a 3-minute, the full 3-minute TikTok of like highlight tape and people doubting him in the draft process, him falling in the draft, him busting for the Jets. And then it came back to the Seahawks and all the announcers talking about how he's never going to cut it in Seattle. Seattle has a huge quarterback problem. And then it's just him lighting it up. I was sitting there like, I'm getting goosebumps. They did such a good job editing that. I'm going to tweet that out today for everyone. Cause that, shout out to the person who made that. I'm going to roll Geno Smith as well in this one. It's been so much fun watching him ball out this year, hasn't it?
It really has.
Shout out Geno.
Good for him.
Ruben here has a question for us. Do you answer bottles in PBR formats?
Cans, tall boy cans of PBR. Yeah. It's the 16-ounce PBR cans.
I never even had a PBR bottle.
And there's something about walking into a party with a can of PBR in your hands that, just the ladies love or the gentlemen love too. Like
it says, I don't care about myself, but I care about my image is what a can of PBR says. And you know what? That's fair.
Simon, I'm going to ask you and JL both a very serious question. Have you ever accessorized with the beer you knew you were going to drink for that evening?
No,
absolutely not.
Very close. I used to match my vitamin water to the shirt I was wearing on campus.
That's
in
basically
college.
what I was asking.
So, like saying, like I would go into the store, and if I would try to get the flavor that closest matched the shirt I was wearing, so that my vitamin water and shirt had like an aesthetic going on.
I used to go to the singer-songwriter night at this pub, and it was $2 Heineken nights, and I had what I called my Heineken shirt that was like, the baseball type shirts I wear. It was white and green, and I would wear that anytime I was going to go drink Heineken.
Beautiful.
So, I only asked because I was guilty of it.
Crandon here wanted to know Eagles or Chiefs defense today. John Luke, which of those defenses are you rolling out there? The Eagles or the Chiefs?
Oh, I gotta go with the Chiefs. Gotta go with the Chiefs. They're a top defense this week going against Denver.
Joey, what about you? The Eagles are going against the Giants, the Chiefs against Denver. Which way are you rolling?
Yeah, it's gonna be Denver. The Chiefs defense against Denver for sure. Denver is so bad.
It's at the point in the season where if Russell Wilson comes out and doesn't look like garbage, I'm going to be shocked. Like, I was surprised that he did look like garbage for like 6 weeks in a row, then just kind of accepted it. If he turns it around this year, it will be complete and utter shock on my end. I'm rolling Chiefs defense there as well. And then would you guys start Josh Palmer, Greg Dortch, or Corey Davis in the flex?
Ooh. Josh Palmer. Who's it? Greg Dortch is out this week, I believe. Double check.
Corey Davis.
And then Corey Davis. So Palmer, Dortch, or Davis. I'll check Dortch while you guys answer. Joe, you're saying it would be Corey Davis for you?
Corey Davis, yep.
Yep, Corey Davis.
Yeah, it's going to be Corey Davis for me as well. It's a tough matchup, but that's the way I got to roll if those are your options, Krana. George wanted to know Tom Brady or Deshaun Watson. So Tom Brady or Deshaun Watson. Tom Brady going up against the San Francisco 49ers. Deshaun Watson has the Bengals. John Luke, which way you rolling here?
Deshaun Watson for me. Yeah, Tom Brady, as I mentioned earlier, very low-scoring games, going against one of the best defenses in the league. So I will go Deshaun Watson here.
What about you, Joey?
Yeah, until Brady can figure out how to turn the last 4 minutes of his game into his full game script, I'm going to be going Deshaun Watson on this.
Man, this one's close. I think I rolled Tom Brady. I am very nervous about what we saw last week from Deshaun Watson. I got a little bit more trust in Tom Brady, even in a tough matchup. I know it was a weird game, but I just want to remove that uncertainty, even if the upside's capped for Brady.
All right. It was a weird game.
Such a weird game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it. No offensive touchdown scored in that game, even though the Browns scored 27 points. But man, that one's close. That's right about where that line is. Glory Sports in here wanted to know Jared Jeudy or Marquise Brown. So would you guys be starting Jerry Jeudy or Marquise Brown this week?
It's going to be Marquise Brown for me. Simon and I were talking earlier that New England just might try to take away D-Hop today. And if that's the case, Marquise Brown is going to feed. So very realistic that might happen today.
Yeah, I go Marquise Brown as well. Yeah, I'm going Marquise Brown as well.
Make it a triple Marquise Brown. Those are good options, though. Jerry Jeudy, not a bad option in a game where Denver is expected to be down. Glory also wanted to know Travis Homer or Isaiah Pacheco. So Homer could potentially be the lead back there in Seattle with Kenneth Walker and DJ Dallas both expected to miss. Pacheco, we know what he does. He's that first and second down guy, but he's never going to get the receiving work. Joey, which of those backs would you be starting?
It's going to be Pacheco for me. Absolutely. He's been great the last few weeks. I love the work that he's been getting. Looking forward to next year. I really do believe he's almost going to be taken in the top 4 rounds. His talent he's showing that he is worth the pick that the Kansas City put into him.
John Luke, you agreeing with Joey here, or are you going to roll out the other guy?
No, I fully agree with Joey here. I'm not very confident in Travis Homer. Pacheco, he is solid. This is a tougher matchup against Denver. I still expect him to be the main guy.
Yeah, Pacheco 5 games in a row with over 80 yards from scrimmage and 3 in a row with a touchdown. So
it's going to be Pacheco for me as well. Triple Pacheco. Sippin' Walking here wanted to know full PPR. Marquise Hollywood Brown, Rashad White, Zonovan Knight, or Travis Homer in the flex. Joey, which way you rolling here?
One more time on those names.
It was Hollywood Brown. So Marquise Hollywood Brown, Rashad White, Zonovan Knight, Zonovan Bam Knight, or Travis Homer in the flex.
Yeah, it's Hollywood Brown. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody in the middle there because I heard Hollywood Brown. I was like, yep. So it's going to be Hollywood Brown. I love the work that he could get today.
John Luke, it sounds like you're agreeing.
Fully agree.
Yep, triple agree here. I'm going to go Hollywood Brown as well. What are you guys doing with Rachaad White? Because I feel like that is an interesting name. Fournette didn't practice Friday, or was a limited participant at practice Friday, expected to play today, but I'm not expecting a full workload. But then they've got the 49ers, which is an incredibly tough matchup for the running back. Is he someone you're starting?
If I can
Not
get
if
away
I
from
don't
him.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't have to, then I would. But to start Rashad, okay with it. I expect running back, like low running back 3 numbers, back 4 numbers potentially here. It's going to be tough. It's a very difficult matchup for him.
Joe, you're agreeing on Rachaad White?
I do. And I think it might be the good thing about being able to try to have to sit Rachaad White is you didn't draft him to start him. I know we're kind of past this part of the season where the players you drafted are necessarily in your starting lineup, but you probably have other options in your team that are better than Rachaad White this week.
Phillips in here wanted to know, need a flex, full PPR, Najee Harris or Dameon Pierce? So JL's guy versus Joey's guy. Who's going to win? Najee Harris or Dameon Pierce? Fight!
G.
It's going to be Najee Harris for me.
Oh, the Dameon Pierce just laid on the ground and said, Najee, you can win this one. Yeah. It's going to be Najee Harris for me as well. JL, you fine starting Najee against this Ravens defense today?
Yep.
Yep. The anti-Zach Wilson with that answer. We had another question in here. Same question was from Andrew. Najee or Rachaad White. Oh, no, that's a different question. Rachaad White's a different player altogether than Dameon Pierce. JL, are you going with Najee or Rachaad White?
Najee over Rachaad White as well.
Joe, you agreeing?
Yeah, I would start Najee Harris over Travis Etienne, Dameon Pierce, Isaiah Pacheco, some names that we've said that we would start this week. I really like Najee this week.
Glory Sports in here asking Kirk Cousins or Jared Goff. So we answered this from a DFS perspective earlier. Is the answer going to stay the same? Is it still Jared Goff?
Oh, yeah.
Still Jared Goff, yep.
Joey, you've got Jared Goff pretty high in your rankings this week, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I do. The players I would not start ahead of Jared, that I would start ahead of Jared Goff are Tua, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts. So, like, I'm talking like top tier quarterbacks are the only players I'm playing above Jared Goff this week. Because at home, he's been a top tier quarterback.
Maria in here has a question for us. Peppermint or caramel? I hate that word because I don't know how I say it. And I say it different every time and then stress about it whenever it's coming out. Jill, is that your answer or is that how you say it?
Both.
Joey, what about you?
Maria,
Peppermint or caramel?
this is an excellent question. And this is a seasonal question for me because we're in the season right now where peppermint is very acceptable. And I'm taking peppermint right now. Once we hit January, peppermint's going on the shelf. I'm sitting peppermint until like late November.
I forgot the words right there. I'm throwing a shot of Rumple Mitts into my hot chocolate and voting peppermint right here is where I'm going. Give me that Rumple spiked hot chocolate this time of year. Ethan in here wanted to know Judy or Juju in full PPR. JL, are you rolling with Jerry Judy or Juju Smith-Schuster?
For some reason in my mind you were going Jerry or Judy or Judy.
Judy or Judy or Judy?
Judy. I'm going to go Juju Smith-Schuster over Jerry Judy. We already talked about how Denver is poo-poo. Their matchup is pretty good against Kansas City. Juju Smith-Schuster does have a tougher matchup on the other side of this game, but I'm going to go Juju.
Joey, are you agreeing here? Is it going to be Juju or is it going to be Judy?
It's going to be a Juju Smith-Schuster.
It's going to be Juju Smith-Schuster for me as well. I know it's a tougher matchup, but man, I just have trouble trusting the pieces in the Denver Broncos offense if I can avoid playing them. Bands in here. Band Santana, what's up? This is full PPR Duvernay or Josh Palmer. So Devin Duvernay or Josh Palmer in jail with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen back in that lineup.
I would go Duvernay in this one over Josh Palmer with Mike Williams back.
What about you, Joey? With Tyler Huntley starting at quarterback there, could be different for Devin Duvernay, but it's changing situations for both of these guys.
So it's Palmer or Duvernay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be Palmer for me.
Palmer for you. It's gonna be Duvernay for me. I'm with you, JL. Josh Palmer, I think, falls back into a secondary role there with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen back in that lineup. secondary. I mean, he could be the fourth option realistically behind Gerald Everett as well. And then you've got Austin Eckler there as well. Like Josh Palmer could go from being the number 1 option to the number 5 option on that offense pretty quickly, right? Like that could happen very fast. A question in here from, question in here from Mike Mizzle. What's up, Mike Mizzle? Mike Mizzle wanted to know 14 team, 3 wide receivers per team. So waiver wire is super thin. Demarcus Robinson or Kendall Hinton? JL, are you starting Demarcus Robinson or Kendall Hinton? Same matchup as the last question, but we took the receivers down a tier.
We did. I would go. I'm still sticking with the Baltimore side of this. I think he'll get worked into it. They got Pittsburgh Steelers. I didn't mention this in the last one, but they have good matchup for wide receivers. They're giving up the second most points to the position in fantasy. I'll go with my man Demarcus Robinson.
What about you, Joe? You agreeing with JL here, or are you rolling the other way?
Yeah, even though Hinton might end up being the wide receiver 2 in this matchup today, I'm just not at a point where I can trust him. So it's going to be Demarcus Robinson. I've seen it from him a couple times this season. Both are really kind of dart throws, so I'd rather throw a dart with Demarcus Robinson.
The wide receiver 2 versus Denver can be 4 targets, 1 catch for 11 yards. That's not like a high value.
And they'd give him a parade.
Second wide receiver. Exactly. Strong style in here had a question for us. PPR flex. Nick Westbrook, Ikene, Philip Dorsett, or Josh Reynolds. Not much of an option with injuries and bye week. I'm going to roll NWI. I'm going to roll Nick Westbrook, Ikene out there with all the other receiving options banged up. I'm not expecting huge things from him, but he's the one with the most, like the safest work, I feel like, out of these 3. Joey, where are you rolling?
Full agreement.
John Luke, you agree?
Yep, I'm with you.
Triple NWI.
Nick Westbrook, Ikene.
NWI. We had another question come in here. This one from Nixa. Wanted to know James Cook or Zonovan Knight in half PPR. John Luke, James Cook or Zonovan Knight? Bam Knight or James Cook?
It's not James Cook. I'm gonna go James Cook over Zonovan Knight. Michael Carter being matchup just feels like a recipe for disaster. James Cook, a little less risk there in my mind. I'll go with him.
What about you, Joey?
I do have him back to back. I've got James Cook is RB27 and Zonovan Knight is RB28. In a shared backfield, I like the word James Cook's been getting better. With Zonovan and Michael Carter, I really do feel like that will be a 50-50 share. James Cook's at least going to get the receiving work, so I'll go James Cook.
I'm with you, Joey. And that's what was going to be the tiebreaker for me, is I fully expect James Cook to get that work. I'm with you as well, JL. Glory Sports wants to know Jeff Wilson Jr. or JWJ. Which way you rolling, JL? This comes from Glory Sports, so you know where to direct.
Wilson Jr. or JWJ. I think I'm going to go with Jess WJ.
Javonte Liverstone going with SWJ. What about you, Joe?
So wait, it's Jeff Wilson or Justin Jefferson?
No, it's Jeff Wilson or Jeff Wilson, and Glory Sports is just mocking me for not knowing who JWJ was.
I'm going to sit Jeff Wilson, but start Jeff Wilson.
All right there. Carlos in here. What's up, my friend Carlos? Welcome in. He said, with Houston's receiving core all over injury lists, does that make Dameon Pierce any more attractive? So, Joey, is Dameon Pierce moved up in your rankings with Nico Collins and Brandon Cooks both inactive this week?
Honestly, I was moving him down. I think Dallas knows what they need to do to win this game. That's just stop the run. And I'm scared to start Dameon Pierce today. I'm hoping he just channels the love I have in my heart for him.
Channels
puts
all
that
of
on
it.
the field today and runs on Dallas. But it's going to be tough for him, to be honest.
So would you start him over Mike Williams?
No, I started Mike Williams.
Yeah, I think I would answer that question.
Yeah, I think I would start Mike Williams over Dameon Pierce, but it is pretty close. I would not Dameon Pierce.
Are you wearing a Mike Williams jersey right now?
Yep.
So this is
Mike.
So we are representing the question. This is wonderful. Yeah. How about that?
And does either one of them happen to be from Ohio?
Nope.
Maybe I should wear a football shirt on football shirt day. I completely forgot about football shirt. I'm going to go put that on right after this show's over. Also, Carlos saying, love you, BBs. Love you, Carlos. Thanks so much for coming in and hanging out with us.
Thanks,
He also said it, which is wrong.
Caramel. I don't know.
Yeah, caramel.
I
It's
knew
one
a
of
girl
those
named
words-
Caramel.
I didn't.
I don't know if that was her real name though.
I always with that word and then pecan or pecan. I don't know what I say because I've been
Pecan
asked
pie.
how I say it more times than I've had to say those words in my life. Like I don't bring those words up very often. So I don't know my answer. And I'm just going to stress every single time I have to say either one of those. Martin in here with a question. So Jamal Williams, James Cook, or Chuba Hubbard start one in standard scoring. So John Luke, would you be rolling out Jamal Williams, James Cook, or Chuba Hubbard this week?
Jamal Williams for me. He has been fantastic. He's still getting the goal line work. I'll throw him in.
It's Jamal Williams in this high scoring game.
Yeah.
You know for sure he's going to be fed a couple goal line carries. They're going to get down there inside the 5, and Jamal Williams is going to run a touchdown. It's just what he does.
I guarantee Amon St. Brown will fall down at the 1 yard line at least twice today to get you those touchdowns, Jamal Williams.
It is funny with what consistency. Like ever since someone pointed it out, I think it was Coop pointing it out. Like I just every single week have seen DeAndre Swift or Amon-Ra St. Brown or anybody go down on the 1 yard line, 2 yard line. And that's Jamal Williams' music, baby. Here he comes to run that touchdown in.
Just think how great Jared Goff's numbers would be if Amon-Ra St. Brown was running those in.
Be phenomenal.
What a world.
It would be phenomenal. We had another question in here. This one coming from our friend Jeff. What's up, Jeff? Welcome
Jeff.
in.
Wilson?
Hope you're doing all right. Jeff M., our friend Jeff Milner, Geek Mill over here.
Hey,
he said,
what up,
morning,
Geek?
my dudes. What up, Geek? Said, need your help, Daniel Jones or Kenny Pickett. Yikes. I got to roll Daniel Jones.
Yes, you do need.
Yeah.
I got to roll Daniel Jones. There just is no upside with starting Kenny Pickett. He doesn't throw touchdowns. Daniel Jones can at least run the ball. So I'll throw Daniel Jones out there. What about you, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, Philadelphia, they're one, if you want to call it a weakness, they're just kind of middle of the pack against it. Their defense is against the run. So, Daniel Jones has shown that he can run the ball. So that's what I expect the Giants to do today. And Daniel Jones is going to be a part of that. So,
John
Yeah,
Luke, you
I'm with
agreeing
you
or are
guys.
you rolling out Mr. Pickett?
I'm with you guys. Daniel Jones.
Triple Danny Dimes. Maybe we should adjust that nickname. That one just kind of stuck with him, didn't it? Like he
Danny
got anointed.
Nichols.
Danny Scrap Copper after they eliminate the penny. Grim Fan in here, our resident Survivor League competitor. Grim Fan is still alive in week 14 of his Survivor League and says, I'm riding on the Bucks in a Survivor League going against the San Francisco 49ers. JL, is this the week where the luck runs out for Grim Fan? The skill runs out. Running low on teams, or do you think the Bucks pull out the victory against the Brock Purdy-led 49ers?
I think it's a 50-50 shot. I think you're it's about 49% according to 538, by the way. What was the other one? Or no, the other matchup was, right?
He just said that one. Joey, you feeling all right about it? You're a Bucks
I'm
fan.
not. I am a Bucks fan, and that's why I'm not feeling all right about it, probably. But, the Bucks, they do have to travel across country to play the 49ers. And the 49ers defense is really good. Brady has not looked good outside of the last 4 minutes of football games this year. I'm a little better boss saying the Bucks are going to blow them out. I hope so, but I don't. I'm just very pessimistic about the Bucks, I guess.
Grim Fan said, should I change? Joey looks depressed.
I'm never depressed, buddy. I've been a Bucks fan
just-
for too long.
You just made him come out here and say that he doesn't think the Bucks are going to win whenever
Yeah.
you came in and said, I think they are going to win. But then they also said that they're taking the under in points on the Steelers game and on the Dolphins game. I don't mind it on the Steelers game. I generally, it's not fun to root for the unders. I don't mind it on that Steelers Ravens game. I could see that one just being disgusting, but I'm not touching the under on the Dolphins Chargers game. Probably because wishful thinking. I want it to be a shootout tonight. I just desperately want a shootout.
What is the over under on that game right now?
I think it's at 52.5. Oh, it's at 53.5. Oh, it's at 54.5.
Wow.
Now is where it's sitting.
keeps going.
54.5.
So that's 27-28.
55.5.
Man, that's a
56 and a
high
half.
scoring game.
72.5.
I hope we get that tonight.
Going
I hope we
once.
get like 31-27.
Tommy in the chat saying 98.5. As the game approaches, it just gets higher and higher and higher. Yeah, I'm staying away from the under on that one.
Has an NFL game? Yeah, I think that that Chiefs Rams game would have hit 98 and a
90-something.
half. It was 90 something. Yeah.
It was very close. It was very close on that one. And then would you guys start? One last question from Graham: Purdy or Pickett? So Brock Purdy or Kenny Pickett? This is where I just plug in Kenny Pickett, plug my nose and say, I don't know what I'm going to get from Purdy, but Pickett, maybe we get one touchdown and 200 yards and you're just fine with it. JL, you rolling out Purdy or Pickett?
I'm going with Pickett. That sucks.
Full agree.
We got triple Pickett. And then one more in here. Trey wants to know, should I trust Swift versus Minnesota or do I play Connor versus New England instead? So would you guys go DeAndre Swift versus Minnesota or James Conner?
Gotta go DeAndre
Swift.
Guys, if you're watching this show, enjoying what we're doing, watching on bettersports.com or over on our YouTube, you can also download the Better Sports Network app. There's a call-in button where you can join live and come hang out with us up here, ask your questions live, and all of the BSN shows on demand. Invite your friends and family to join our community by downloading the Better Sports Network app and hang out with us on these Sunday mornings leading to kickoff, and every day, Monday through Friday. Me, Jay, and our friend Coop are live on the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Right now, you are listening to Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy. We are going to keep on answering your questions leading up to kickoff, so stick around here on Better Sports Network.
Green Screens Media back at it again with your BSN timeout, and today we're updating the futures market for college basketball. With me, as always, the captain of our ship at Green Screens Media, Mr. Mike Holland. Mike, want to start off with the North Carolina Tar Heels. This was the number one team in the country coming into the season, and they've gotten off to a bit of a slow start. They're sitting at 5-4 right now, but they've also seen some interesting line movement. Their line to win the ACC has moved from 140 at open all the way to 350 now. And look, this is a story that we saw with them last year, right? Kind of stumbled out of the gates, but ultimately this team is way too talented to not turn it around. Eventually they're going to figure out they need to get Bacot the ball. So like them at this plus 350 price to win the ACC.
Yeah, I'm not worried about North Carolina. Hubert Davis, these guys are going to get it figured out. Let's slide over to a wide open Big Ten. Michigan opened up plus 475 to win the Big Ten. They're now plus 1,500, so some longer odds here. The loss of senior guard Jalen Llewellyn hurts, but you have guys like Kobe Buffkin, Jett Howard that should continue to progress and help support star big man Hunter Dickinson. Also, if there's another coach that can get it done, it's Juwan Howard, right? Has already led this team to a Sweet 16 and an Elite 8. Definitely like the long odds here for the Wolverines to take down the Big Ten.
This is the same case we were making when they were 475. So you get 3x the odds on that. There's a lot to like there. I want to go over to Gonzaga. This is a team that opened at plus 900 odds to win the Natty. Gotten off to a 6-3 start. So now their odds are all the way up to plus 2,200. A lot of that has to do with the tough non-conference schedule. They've dropped a couple of games there, but they still got a lot of things working in their favor. They still got Strother. They still got Timmy. They're also seeing guys like Nolan Hickman and Malachi Smith take a bit of a step forward. Really like the Bulldogs to get it together as we get down the stretch run, and I like them at this 22-1.
Yeah, West Coast Conference play should be good for Mark Few and that squad. But let's slide over to the Big East. Creighton, plus 2,500 still, which is what they opened at to start the season to win the national championship. Lost 3 games here in the early going, tough non-conference. Losses to Arizona and Texas are never easy, but a real bad home loss to a Nebraska squad where they were favored by double digits has some questioning if this team can make a deep run in the big dance. Look, they still have one of the top starting rosters in the country. This team should be probably closer to plus 12 or plus 1,500, so I still have faith that Creighton can get it done.
Yeah, this team has no business being 25-1, whether now or at the beginning of the season, right? So that will do it for your BSN timeout. Make sure you stay locked here on the Better Sports Network and check out Green Screens Media on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube so you don't miss a minute of our college basketball coverage.
Pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy.
Welcome to Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network. It is Week 14, baby, and we are getting you ready for your Week 14 matchups. There's 6 teams on bye, a lot of players injured, players coming back this week as well. So a lot to keep up with, a lot in your lineups that you need to make changes for. Returning to game day action this week, we've got Joe Mixon playing. DeAndre Hopkins is coming back this week as well. And J.K. Dobbins, running back for the Baltimore Ravens, back on the football field. But I'm not putting him back in my lineup. So you guys putting J.K. Dobbins back in your lineups?
Nope.
No, I mean, they dropped Mike Davis, so that's a little encouraging for what they think JK can give us down the stretch, but I'm still not starting him today.
No, I'm not getting him in there. Mike Williams, on the other hand, back in game day action, full participant in practice down the stretch this week. It sounds like we got a little more trust in throwing Mike Williams in there than J.K. Dobbins.
Absolutely. Yeah, this game is going to be a shootout tonight, and Mike Williams, if he's healthy, playing well, he's going to be a big part of that.
Oh, man, please be a big Mike Williams week. Like, I would just love a big Mike Williams week. You know what? I'm making the decision now. I was going back and forth in the Guillotine League. Do I start Mike Evans? Do I start Marquise Brown? Do I start Mike Williams? Do I start Mike Evans? Do I start Marquise Brown? Do I start Mike Williams? Like, those are the choices.
Mike.
I think I'm starting Mike Williams in that game. I think that's where I'm going. The upside is just so high for Mike Williams against his Dolphins defense in a 54.5 point over-under game. I can't stay away, man. The upside is too enticing for me to put him on my bench. Whenever I look at the matchup that Mike Evans has against the 49ers, got to do it. Some inactives, players that are not playing, unfortunately. Lamar Jackson is inactive, which means Tyler Huntley will be starting at quarterback there. Rondale Moore for the Arizona Cardinals not playing this week. And the Houston Texans receiving core, almost everyone's out. Nico Collins, Brandon Cooks, both inactive. On the Tennessee Titans, we've got Treylon Burks out, leaving Robert Woods and Nick Westbrook-Ikine as the only healthy wide receivers on that team. And Kadarius Toney was a late addition to the injury report this week, not playing against the Denver Broncos today in that game, Chiefs versus Broncos. And then we got 6 teams on bye. So if you have Falcons, Bears, Packers, Colts, Saints, or Commanders players that you've been relying on this season, the bye week has finally come in week 14. Make sure you got a backup plan. Make sure you got someone else in there. We had some more questions come up here in the chat, guys, that I wanted to make sure we got to. Felipe had a question for us. Wanted to know Deebo Samuel or Hollywood Brown. Dale, you rolling with Deebo Samuel or Marquise Hollywood Brown? Oh, and we cannot hear you.
You got to start. I would go Deebo Samuel out of those two guys.
Deebo Samuel. What about you, Joey?
I'm going to disagree with my much better looking co-host, John Luke Garofalo. It's going to be Hollywood Brown for me. Deebo's kind of scares me a little bit today.
What about Deebo scares you? Is it the matchup? Is it his usage?
Because
recently?
Deebo gets some of his work through the running game. And this Tampa Bay defense just shuts down the run. They allow the least amount of receiving yards to running backs. Now, I know Deebo's not a running back, but he's kind of used that way a lot. And I just like the matchup for Hollywood.
Yeah, I think I'm going to roll Hollywood here as well. It's close, though. It's close between those two. Sam in here wanted to know Saquon or James Cook, and I'm guessing this is related to Saquon being questionable for today, but he is officially active. Saquon is active, I think expected to play. John Luke, is this enough to scare you off of Saquon and start James Cook, or are you still rolling Saquon out there?
Okay. Saquon, if he is in, if he's playing, you got to play him. He's not a player.
Yep. Saquon is a must start if he's active. You get him in those lineups. Finstrom wanted to know Goff or Prescott in a 4-point per passing touchdown league. Joey, we're going to put it to the test. Jared Goff or Dak Prescott?
It's Jared Goff. And for me, it's not an issue of talent because I think Dak Prescott's the better talented quarterback. It's a game script thing. Dallas doesn't really need to pass on Houston. They really don't. They can just give it to Zeke and they can give it to Tony Pollard and win this game pretty easily. And Goff's going to be in a shootout. Goff's going to get points.
Joe, you agree in here? It's scary to say Goff over Prescott, but I'm with Joey. I think it's going to be Goff.
Then I'll throw a nod to Dak Prescott here because I don't think it should be a Goff. I think Dak Prescott, the thing pushing him a little bit down, like the thing we're arguing here is really narrative, which is scary because it doesn't always go that way in the NFL.
It does not.
No, I mean, it wouldn't be shocking to all of a sudden have this Lions-Vikings game be like a 17-11 disgusting, gross, weird game. But please, for the love of God, just don't do that to us. Give us the high-scoring garbage shootout that we want. Dinty Mo saying Jared Goff, though. Going Goff in the chat. Essie in the chat this morning. What's up, Essie? Good morning. Says, I have to pick 2 flexes. Jerry Jeudy, James Cook, Isaiah McKenzie, and Gus Edwards. So, Joey, of those 4, which ones are you picking?
I'll go the 2 off the top. I'll go with Jeudy and James Cook. McKenzie's a little intriguing, though. It seems like it's every other week with him and Gabe Davis. And this could be the McKenzie week, but I'll still go with the 2 safer guys there.
And Essie did say they're playing against Josh Allen, if that matters at all. Half PPR. John Luke, which 2 would you be plugging in?
I would be going Jerry Jeudy as the first one and James Cook the second one.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's going to be unanimous on that front. Jerry Jeudy and James Cook. Your opponent starting Josh Allen doesn't make me want to play Isaiah McKenzie more. It doesn't give a big enough.
They might just wreck you and leave you with no points.
Yeah, McKenzie's not a guaranteed buffer for Josh Allen points. They can all go elsewhere. That's a great point, JL. Yeah, you're going to be real sad if you play McKenzie for that reason. Then Gabe Davis has a 3 touchdown game and McKenzie has 2 targets, 0 receptions, and that would mean 0 yards.
Yeah.
Strong Style Ninja in here said Big Mike representing, and then said Chargers fan, JL. He was born in San Diego, but will always be a Chargers fan with your Big Mike jersey.
I'm a half Chargers fan. I'm a Mike Williams fan.
Yeah, Mike Williams fan. I'm a big Mike Williams fan too, and I'm forever jealous of that powder blue Mike Williams jersey. Nixon here says, oh, they want to know, how do you guys say the word pecan? Is it pecan or pecan? Joey?
Pecan.
Pecan, JL?
Pecan pie. Pecan
I think
pie.
it depends on the context. If you're talking about pie, it is without a doubt pecan pie. But if you're just talking about the nuts, I think they're pecans.
Pecans.
Pecan.
Pecan.
I don't know if I've ever said are there pecans in here, but I've definitely said are there nuts in here.
They're just called nut. How do you pronounce pecan? Nut.
Nuts.
Just a nut. Caden in here wanted to know, do I start Amari Cooper, Hollywood Brown, or Travis Homer in half PPR? We did get news that Amari Cooper is active. I know that was a question going into today, but Amari Cooper is active. So Amari Cooper, Hollywood Brown, or Travis Homer. John Luke, which way you rolling here?
I would lean Amari Cooper
Against the Cincinnati Bengals. Joey, you agreeing, or are you going to go with Hollywood or Homer?
I'm gonna keep leaning into the Hollywood. Here's what makes me nervous about Amari Cooper. On the road, he only has 22 receptions for 285 yards and 2 touchdowns in, I believe it's 6 games. Those are really low numbers versus when he's at home, 547 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. He's a star at home. But there's this thing when Amari Cooper's on the road and with Deshaun Watson still getting acclimated to the offense, I'll slide with Hollywood ever so slightly.
Joey, I'm buying into that narrative too, that DeAndre Hopkins is going to be the guy they try to take down and that this is a Hollywood game. I'm nervous about Deshaun Watson. The Cincinnati Bengals matchup isn't a cakewalk. These guys are super close, but I think I roll Marquise. I think I roll Hollywood out there as well, Joey. But man, that's a great question. Boo! And Grim said Amari Cooper's playing with limited snaps today. So that makes it maybe even a little bit more over there on the Hollywood side. Fave Rocks.
How'd that work out for Hollywood when he came back and it was on limited snaps?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, how the turntables, Hollywood. We'll see how it plays out. A question in here from Fave Rocks. Fave Rocks wants to know, start Zay Jones or Devonta Smith PPR. Zay Jones was also questionable whether he would be active, and his quarterback as well, Trevor Lawrence, but both are active today, Trevor Lawrence and Zay Jones. So, Joey, would you be going with Mr. Devonta Smith against the Giants or Zay Jones against these Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Devonta Smith has 9 targets in 4 games straight. So I'm going with him. Over
that
Zay
sounds
Jones.
pretty good to me. Nine targets sounds pretty nice. I know Zay Jones has had some big games, but I'll roll him as well. What about you, JL?
Devonta Smith. Let's go.
Triple Devonta Smith.
Zay didn't have a good game last week. And everyone was expecting it.
Ammon here had a question for us. Dulcich or Isaiah McKenzie, half-point PPR. Usually, I don't play the tight end over the receiving option in these questions, the wide receiver, but I'm going to start Greg Dulcich. It's a pretty good matchup for him going against the Kansas City Chiefs. Cortland Sutton out as well. So you've got Greg Dulcich as the second receiver in line there. And I'm not scared off by the matchup, and they're probably going to have to throw the ball a ton. I think Dulcich is a great start at the tight end position this week, and he's flex worthy. You can flex him if your options are like Isaiah McKenzie. What about you, Joey? You rolling Dulcich or McKenzie?
I mean, Dulcich is averaging 5 targets a game this season, which is really great for a tight end. Like I think he's out of the glob. I think he's moved to the top of that glob. I'm still going to go with McKenzie because we've seen what he can do in this Bills offense. And even though I don't like the matchup with the Jets, I do want pieces of this Bills offense if I have it.
What about you, JL?
I'm with you guys. It's Dulcich for me. He looks decent, and this is a plus matchup for him going in.
I like it. This seems like a Dulcich week to me. I want a big Dulcich week. Also, Coop in here saying David Njoku out there warming up in 40-degree weather with his shirt off. Move him up? Absolutely. Knock him up a tier.
Let me see.
If I see a David Njoku with his shirt off picture, he moves up like 2 or 3 spots in my rankings. That man
Am I moving Njoku ahead of Chig?
No. That's where the hype train ends.
Is it?
I'm excited for Chig this week, for Chigoziem Okonkwo, tight end for the Titans. For those of you listen, if you're looking for a last minute tight end fill-in, he's a great start. Coop here saying though that he did move Njoku ahead of Chigoziem Okonkwo.
Okay. I did think I'm just trying to will Chig to happen this week because I need him to come through for me in a few leagues. Pretty much everywhere I had Cole Kmet, I have Chig playing in place.
Coop this week called me out and said, Simon, you love being on a hype train. He said, you're selective about your hype trains. Like you don't join all of them. You are very selective about which ones you jump on, but when you jump on one, you are conducting the train. Like, so I will wait. Like I don't join it, but Darnell Mooney this week, I'm so excited about Chig. Just an excitable person. But he said that and I was like, yeah, you're probably right. No, out on that.
Not for you.
Get out of my face with the Gabe Davis hype train. And I miss on some. The Amon-Ra St. Brown one, I missed takeoff on that hype train.
Wow, I was on that one.
Yeah, you were on that one from the start. Daggers in here had a question for it's tight end premium, half PPR flex. James Cook, Brandon Ayuk, David Njoku, or Zay Jones. John Luke, so it's a tight end premium league, half PPR for the other positions. We need to flex 2. James Cook, Brandon Ayuk, David Njoku, and Zay Jones.
All right, this is just you flexing 2?
Yep.
Easy. James Cook, Brandon Ayuk.
Stick at the top. Joe, you agreeing?
Stick to the top.
I agree with Mike Williams.
I'm with you. James Cook and Brandon Ayuk for me as well. Daggers. Eric wanted to know flex 2 in full PPR. Darius Slayton, Donovan Peoples-Jones, or James Cook. Slayton, DPJ, and Cook. So one of those has to hit the bench. Joey, who's hitting the bench?
Yeah, I'm going to put Slayton on the bench. I'm not happy about it because I've really liked what we've seen from Slayton this season, but I just hate this matchup for him.
The matchup's disgusting against the Eagles. I'm with you, Joey. I'm avoiding it at all costs. Jay, you starting Slayton in this tough matchup, or you benching him like Joey and I?
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
You're
going
bench
against Cincinnati.
It's benching the law firm. Is that in the law firm? No, that was been Jarvis Green.
Peoples and Jones.
There's a law firm here that's Tyler and Peary, but they put the and very small. And when you're driving up, Peary is spelled P-E-R-Y, but it looks like Tyler Perry Associates at Law on the billboard as you're pulling up. And every time it gets me, and I love it so much.
You walk in there. Hello.
Tyler and Peary. If you say it fast enough, it's Tyler Peary Associates at Law. Another question here from Jeb. What's up, Jeb? Said
Jeb.
Rachaad White or Travis Homer?
Bush.
Oh man.
Did you say love your bunch?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, please clap. Please clap for this question.
Please clap.
So now that we've clapped, would you start Rachaad White or Travis Homer this week, John Luke?
Ooh, Travis Homer. This is interesting. I was talking earlier about how tough Rachaad White's matchup is with Leonard Fournette there. I think I'm going to lean Travis Homer here going against Carolina.
Joey, what about you? Is that Rachaad White line with the tough matchup above or below Travis Homer?
It's above the Travis Homer line, which should be like a well-believed stat, I think. That the Travis Homer line, like the equator. I don't know where I'm going.
San Andreas fault, the Travis Homer line.
Exactly. The Travis Homer line. Yeah. I'm scared of Rachaad White's matchup today, but this is the one player that's where the line is.
JL, I'll roll with you here. I'm going to roll Travis Homer. It doesn't look like DJ Dallas or Kenneth Walker are going to play today, meaning he should get all the work there. I'm nervous about this matchup, and Fournette is active, even though I don't expect him to get a ton of work. Mo Diesel with a great question for us here.
No.
Gabe Davis or Adam Thielen in half PPR. JL, which way you rolling here? Because I feel like this is a very good question. We've got Gabe Davis probably with a tougher matchup going up against the New York Jets, lower scoring game compared to the shootout that is supposed to be the Minnesota Vikings Detroit Lions game. And the last time Coop pointed it out, Adam Thielen played against the Detroit Lions. He had himself a game, touchdown, 60 plus yards. You're more than happy with that. Are you rolling with that, expecting another good performance against these Lions? Or are you going to be rolling out Gabe Davis?
I'm going to be going Adam Thielen here. It's close enough. Adam Thielen going against the Detroit Lions. Solid matchup. Gabe Davis, very good. Their secondary has been fantastic. Giving up the 3 least amount of points to the wide receiver position. 3rd least amount of points to the wide receiver position. So Gabe Davis, while I do expect him to have a decent game, he could get shut down. Here, I don't think Adam Thielen will. So I'll go with Thielen. Get the touchdown upside.
Joe, you agreeing here? You going Thielen?
Yeah, in week 3, Adam Thielen, 6 receptions, 61 yards, and a touchdown. I think he can break that today, and I don't think it'll be tough for him to do that.
I'm going to roll Adam Thielen as well. I want pieces from this game. I think Thielen is going to kill it. Of course, Jefferson's going to get his, but I'm feeling pretty good about Thielen as a touchdown scorer this week. So I'm going to roll that way. Sleek in here said PPR flex 2, Saquon Barkley, Rashad White, Deonta Foreman, and Marquise Brown. This one's easy for me. It's going to be Saquon Barkley and Marquise Hollywood Brown for me out of that bunch. What about you, Joey?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't hate Deonta Foreman, though. He's been over, what is it? Where did I have it there? Yeah, Deonta Foreman, 100 or more rushing yards in 4 of the last 6 games, and the most 100-yard rushing games in the NFC the last 6 weeks. Deonta Foreman's, like, if they're competing in the game with the Panthers, like, he's a good play, but it's still going to be Hollywood and Pierce.
We got an update coming in from Jory Epstein about the Cowboys. They're already down their 2 starting CBs to season-ending injuries, and now starting safety Jaron Kearse just helped off the field during pregame warmups. So that Dallas secondary getting real beat up. Kearse not going to be out there, but I don't even know who the hell the Houston Texans are going to throw the ball to.
Chris Moore in the 2 games previous with Davis Mills, he had 5 receptions at both those games. And that's when Nico and Brandon Cooks were both on the field. Like, Chris Moore could really have a day today now that we've got this information. I mean, I don't think he's going to be wide receiver 1 this week, but if you're out there scrambling to find someone off the waiver wire, Chris Moore is definitely someone I would look at.
Maybe a DFS play. Maybe you can throw some Chris Moore in there as a DFS play. Hope he gets some of that volume. Man, that sucks if you're a Cowboys fan. Not fun. Injuries are never fun. We had another question in here. This one coming from M. Sufert. Wanted to know Tony Jones or Isaiah McKenzie, half-point PPR. Saying Jones got announced as the lead running back. John Luke, which way you roll in here?
I will go McKenzie. I'm going to go McKenzie. It feels a little safer. There's just a lot of risk. Even though if Tony Jones is announced as starter, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to lean on him throughout the game. I think they could mix between Jones and then I go McKenzie. Go for touchdown upside.
What about you, Joey?
It's McKenzie for me.
Yeah, it's also going to be McKenzie for me. I just don't have trust that it actually is going to be Tony Jones Jr. in this matchup.
That makes me really bad. Hearing that.
Brooke, yeah, I saw your face just like scrunch up whenever I said that, Joe. You feel like, Tony Jones, you son of a gun. It's Travis Homer's week. I've been saying start Travis Homer. Brooks in here had a tight end question for us. Everett or Dulcich in standard scoring? Mike Williams back, even though this is supposed to be a shootout, I think this is where I roll Greg Dulcich. I've got Greg Dulcich pretty high up this week. I love the matchup for him against Kansas City. Game script favors Dulcich as well. I think I go Dulcich. What about you, Joey?
Dulcich. I got him 1 spot ahead of Everett.
JL, Everett or Dulcich? Oh,
Dulcich is what I said. Dulcich.
Grim fan. Grim fan was letting us know that Amari Cooper was playing unlimited snaps, but for those of you just tuning in, he is active, so you will see Amari Cooper out on the field today. Eric, what's up?
Grim fan changed to Tennessee. Is it a change to Tennessee in our league? Oh no, it said as a statement. If I win this change, Joey has to buy Ryan Tannehill jersey and promote it on the show. Change it back, Grim. Change it back, because if you lose, you're gonna come in and you're gonna blame Joey, and it's gonna be.
Wait, but JL, now you've just created like an unwinnable situation, unless they're right. Because if they switch back to the Buccaneers now, then they listen to you switch off of the ice on Joey, and then they lost because they listened to you to switch back.
Why is anybody listening to us right now?
Man, I am just shocked that you're still alive in the Survivor League, Grim. Week 14 is impressive, man.
Yeah, Grim, this is like I'm out of all my leagues basically at this point, so that you're all I have to hold on to.
For those of you that have never played in a Survivor League, how it works is every week you have to pick a team that you think is going to win a game. But once you pick them, you cannot use them again the rest of the season. So it becomes increasingly more difficult as the season goes on. Not that it's not hard anyways to pick a team that's going to win each week. And Grim still alive in week 14.
I used to have a Ryan Tannehill Dolphins jersey, but I had Lauren printed above it because I was a Lauren Tannehill fan. I wasn't a Ryan Tannehill fan. So that was
Just got a custom jersey. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
We got a question in here from Eric Cat. What's up, Eric Cat? Said, win and make the playoffs. Should I play Travis Homer or Leonard Fournette? So JL, Travis Homer or Leonard Fournette?
I guess I'd go Fournette here.
You're gonna go Fournette.
It is pretty scary because he's going to come back, and I don't know that he's fully healthy, or that Rachaad White doesn't get a lot of this workload, and it's a ridiculously tough matchup. I'll fuck myself out of it. Someone take over before I do.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say, actually, I'm going to start Travis Homer.
Yeah, let's go in that direction.
I'm starting Travis Homer here for all the reasons JL said about Leonard Fournette.
All right, you convinced me, Simon. I'm going Travis Homer.
Yeah. No, it's Travis Homer for me.
It's just funny that you said Leonard Fournette and then laid out exactly what I was going to say for why the answer was Travis Homer. You did it for me.
So we about that. Sometimes I do that where I start on one side of it and then I start laying out the reasoning. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm on this.
Joey, what about you? Where are you rolling?
Yeah, no, I agree. Travis Homer.
Travis Homer. And then at quarterback, Brady or Watson. We talked about this one. I went Brady, avoiding the uncertainty of Watson after what we saw last week. But JL and Joey, I believe you guys both went Watson last time we had this question.
Yep, Watson. I thought we all went Watson.
I went Brady.
No.
I went Brady. Avoid that uncertainty, even with the low upside. Yeah, maybe I am a coward, but that's okay. Eric in here, different Eric, not Eric Cat. Eric Trin said, PPR, Barkley looks like a go. Would you roll with him or plug in James Conner? JL, Saquon Barkley or James Conner?
Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. What about you, Joey?
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. It's going to be Saquon Barkley for me as well there. And then Strong Style Ninja wanted to know Leonard Fournette or Latavius Murray. JL, Leonard Fournette or Latavius Murray?
Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray. What about you, Joey?
Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray. Also, I'm seeing someone in the chat saying Homer isn't playing today, but I have not yet seen that update. Everything I've seen has said that he is playing, but we'll keep our eyes peeled for that if we get an update on that. But from everything I'm seeing, Travis Homer is playing today. Expected to play from everything I'm seeing over here. Lucius coming in here with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Said Zonovan Knight or James Cook in their playoff matchup. So week 14 playoffs. Joey, help our friend Lucius out here. You rolling with Zonovan or you rolling with James Cook?
So the last report that I saw was that Zonovan was going to get even though Michael Carter's back, he's going to get the biggest workload in this game. I'll probably go Zonovan Knight over James Cook. It's tough.
What about you, Jay? Are you agreeing with Joey here?
I do not agree with Joey. I'm going with James Cook. James Cook over Zonovan Knight this week. Michael Carter, Buffalo equals scary.
And I'm going to take that scary matchup. I'm going to roll with Zonovan Knight here.
You
that work seems
punk.
That work seems a little bit more secure, but I'm nervous about both of these guys. Also, I see Schragi in here saying Adam Schefter says he expects the Seahawks to start Tony Jones Jr., not Travis Homer. That just means start. So Tony Jones gets that first carry. They're saying that he's the lead back. But unless they said Travis Homer's out, I believe he's still playing. And Better Boss Down, he's saying, I just put Homer in my lineup. Bite your tongue.
Joey.
Joey, you didn't bite your tongue.
God.
There we go. Triple tongue bite.
I was looking up this Travis Homer thing. I just wanted to double check that like there wasn't some last minute report that he was out. Sorry, I wanted to.
Nah, he looks good to go.
We said it so much to start Homer. I want to just
Homer's good to go. Dinty Mo in here said, "Hey, fellas, what's up?" Dinty said, "Help in full PPR. Would you start Gerald Everett or George Kittle?" As a George Kittle manager, Dinty Mo, I get this. In every league where I roster George Kittle, I'm just sitting there like, I got to start him. I'm still starting him, especially with Mike Williams back in that offense for Gerald Everett. I'm rolling Kittle out. It takes away some of the upside for Gerald Everett. And the matchup isn't terrible against the Buccaneers. They're not great against opposing tight ends. So maybe we get a good Kittle week because I know it's been a minute. Joey, what about you?
Yeah, it's Kittle for me. Like Simon just said, the Bucs are not elite against tight ends. So it would be Kittle for me for sure.
Joe, you agreeing or are you going to Everett?
I agree with you, cowards.
Kittle with us, cowards. Big Money Joe. What up, Big Money Joe?
What up, Big Money Joe? What are you, Small Money
Joe? I'm a lot like Big Money Joe, except I don't have big money. I'm just Joe.
Just Joe. Just Joe. Big Money Joe said Ramondre Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, Saquon Barkley, and Austin Eckler in a 12-man PPR league need 3. So one of those players has to hit the bench. Ramondre Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, Saquon Barkley, and Austin Eckler. Joey, who's hitting the bench out of those 4?
In your very specific case, I'm going to sit Saquon Barkley because he's the only one without an injury designation. You have my number 1 and my number 3 running backs in Ramondre Stevenson and Austin Eckler. And then I would just start Swift over Barkley because I don't feel like there's any injury concern right there for him, where we have heard there is for Barkley. Now, this is very specific. In most leagues, I would not start Swift over Barkley. So I just want to be clear on that. But just because of your situation, I would.
What about you,
bench
JL?
Barkley.
Man, doesn't feel good. I didn't think we would get any. I didn't think we would get any bench Barkley questions here. I was fully prepared to just come in and say start Barkley, start Barkley, start Barkley. But you got a superstar running back core there. The Joker in here with a question said Ramondre Stevenson, Jamal Williams, Rashad White, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Deonta Foreman, full PPR, pick 2. For me, it's going to be the top 2 names on that list, Ramondre Stevenson and Jamal Williams. What about you, JL?
Bingo.
Was his name O, Joey?
O-E-I-E-I-O. Is that
Are you rolling with Ramondre Stevenson?
And that's Ramondre Stevenson. Slam dunk. And
Jamal Williams.
And Jamal Williams.
And Jamal Williams. And the Joker saying, thank you guys. No problem, my friend.
Thank
and
you.
Fame Tiger.
Love questions.
We got a big one from Fame Tiger in here. It says, help me. I've lost 2 weeks in a row. Now in a must win or my team dies. It is do or die time here in week 14.
The Tiger
needs to pick 2 wide receivers and a flex. The options are Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper with Bad Watson, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, James Conner, and their words, not mine, bum ass Jeff Wilson Jr.
Wow.
You watch your mouth, Fame Tiger. Watch your profanity.
So, Dale, which 2 wide receivers would you be starting out of? Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, and Mike Evans.
You got to start Mike Evans. And you got to start. Yeah. Christian Kirk, D-Hop, and Mike Evans feels like must starts. I think I'm going with those 3.
Yeah. For me, Mike Evans is not a must start. DeAndre Hopkins and Keenan Allen are the must starts. Maybe he's in there in that flex, but DeAndre Hopkins and Keenan Allen. Yeah, Keenan Allen's in there.
Oh, there's too many names in this list.
Keenan and Kirk.
Okay,
Wasn't that a show on Nickelodeon?
I'm starting
Keenan and Kirk.
Keenan and Cal.
Kirk, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, you're right. Keenan Allen's a must start. I missed him in this list. It's my bad.
But then that third one, I think I'm going with James Conner in that third spot. I think I'm starting DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, and James Conner as my third. Mike Evans will be on the bench. What about you, Joey?
Yeah, I'll get behind that. The 2 receivers I was slam dunk on with Kirk and Keenan Allen. It gets a little tricky between Mike Evans and James Conner, though, to be honest.
What about you, John Luke? It sounds like you agreed on the receivers, but is Evans your third person?
No, Evans is not my third person. James Conner, I'd start over Evans.
So Mr. Scamper's in the chat going B-I-E-I-N-G-O. B-I-E-I-N-G-O. What up, Scampers?
What up, Mr. Scampers?
And Dame's here too. Hey, Dame.
What up, Dame?
Good morning.
Sunday.
It's West Coasters there.
Afternoon. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Dame.
For the West. You're right.
Hey, it's still morning for me too, just barely. We are approaching kickoff, everybody. So if you've got questions, get them in there. 20 minutes until kickoff of your week 14 games. And we're going to be here answering questions up until the whistle blows. Joseph wanted to know who gets the flex spot today. Oh, that's our time. Sorry, guys. Different whistle.
Joey.
DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams? Who's getting the start, Joey?
DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams. I'm going to go with Swift. I think we might have seen the switch back last week. I know Jamal Williams is leading the NFL in rushing touchdowns, but let's just hope Amon St. Brown gets a couple of those over the line today so that he doesn't have to. I like John Swift. Luke? He's going to be involved in both aspects of the game today.
Fully agree with my friend Joe here.
Yeah, it's going to be DeAndre Swift for me as well. He's the starting running back. Jamal Williams is the backup running back, but he's a backup with high-value touches and a role carved out in this offense. Aiden in here with a question for us. Wanted to know Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper, half PPR. John Luke, which way you roll in here?
I'm going to go Keenan Allen. This is the easy Keenan Allen.
Yeah, easy Keenan Allen for me. That matchup, I want
easy
all
Keenan
the pieces
Allen.
From the
so
Charger.
Nice to say.
Easy Keenan. What about you, Joey? You going with easy Keenan Allen?
Easy Keenan Allen.
Man, I never realized how nice of a name Keenan Allen was with the
Keenan Allen.
like the Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
Kind of.
It sounds like a clothing store for upscale men. Keenan Allen.
Upscale men or upsized men?
Like Joseph A. Bank, like. Although I thought Joseph A. Bank was actually a bank for a very, very long time.
Yes, we just recently got a new stock. We got a new stock of our Peter Millar and our Keenan Allen dress shirts. So take a peek on them over in the corner.
This ascot is a Keenan Allen, actually.
It's a Keenan Allen.
An easy Allen.
An easy Keenan Allen in this case. We had another question in here from Schraggy. Schraggy wanted to know Donovan Peoples-Jones or Adam Thielen. So John Luke, DBJ or Adam Thielen?
It's Adam Thielen for me. We talked about his matchup going against Detroit Lions. It is very good. It's very good. And I expect that to be a decently high-scoring game. I'm going to hope we get a little bit of touchdown Thielen this week.
Adam touchdown Thielen. Joey, you counting on Adam touchdown Thielen or are you rolling out DPJ?
I'm feeling Thielen today. Let's go.
Dame in here. What's up, Dame? I know he said good morning, but glad to have you in here. And Dame had a question for us. She said, hi, guys.
Hi,
Dame.
Hey.
Mostert. Yeah, Mostert or Bam in half PPR. So Raheem Mostert or Zonovan Bam Knight in half PPR. John Luke, which way you rolling?
You always ask me first. You spread it around evenly. I just wanted to blame you for something.
I appreciate the immediate recognition. I also understand blaming me for it. It's okay. I can take it.
Here, we talked about Raheem Mostert a little bit earlier in the show. That matchup for him, solid against the Chargers here. They are giving up the second most to the running back position. Total, Vegas expecting this to be a high-scoring game. I expect Raheem Mostert to get worked into this game. They used him a lot more heavily last week than they did previous weeks with Jeff Wilson there. I do expect that to switch Wilson, but they also didn't run very much last week. And so I expect that to also switch back and the Dolphins start running a lot more.
Joey, which way you rolling here? Zonovan Bam Knight or Raheem Mostert? Jail brings up some good points about the matchup.
He does. Even with Michael Carter coming back this week, I just really think the Jets like what they've seen in Zonovan Knight. And I think they're going to let that go for another week. The running back of the future is on the IR for the Jets right now. So might as well just roll out the kid and Zonovan Knight, see what he can do against the Bills. So it'll be Zonovan Knight for me. They're close, though.
Man,
I don't like
I don't want to pick. I don't want to pick between these two guys. Like
you gave it to me first.
because Zonovan Knight, you're right. Michael Carter's coming back. It's a horribly tough matchup, but what we've seen recently has been great. Raheem Mostert, beautiful matchup. But I fully expect Jeff Wilson to be the lead primary back in this game. I think because of that, I got to go with the guy that I think is going to get more work, and that's Zonovan Knight, even in the tough matchup. But, man, JL, I'm tempted to side with you on that one. Really tempted. Damon here said, I blame Simon for most things as an avoidance for accountability. Totally cool. If you need to do that, that works.
Man,
it's something I learned from my mom, and it's something I'm going to carry over.
Always blame Simon.
She always told me, she said, if you need to blame me for anything that you don't want to do, feel like if you don't want to go to a party or an outing or do something, you can always just blame it on me. And you can avoid that being on you. I'm more than happy to be the bad guy to avoid anything. So I try to take that same approach, Dame. If you want to blame everything on me, you can throw it all my direction. JL, you as well. Joey, you can blame about half the stuff on me, but at a certain point, I'll tell you to stop it.
This Bam Knight stuff really confuses me. My wife's nickname is Bam, and she was a UCF Knight. And Bam Knight, it's throwing me off.
I bet.
Tragan here wanted to know, is James Conner worth a start with the New England defense? So it's not the world's easiest matchup. JL, how are you feeling about James Conner this week?
I think he's a decent start. There is a lot of risk here with James Conner. Earlier in the show, there were a couple really tough questions. People trying to put James Conner into their lineup. It's just going to depend on who you have, who's an alternative. I'm expecting RB2 numbers this week, but New England, you never know with them. And they are very good against the run. They're very good at shutting down various aspects, the best aspects of your team. So I understand the hesitancy.
Joey, what about you? What are you thinking here?
I'm fine with him. He's like JL said, he's an RB2. I've got him at RB16. I think this New England run defense is very good. But I still think James Conner can get some work.
We had a question in here from Shraggy. Shraggy wanted to know Jeff Wilson or Travis Homer this week. This is going to be Jeff Wilson for me.
It's a very easy Jeff Wilson.
It's a great matchup. JL, you going Jeff?
Going Jeff.
We're going Jeff. Give me your best. My name is Jeff.
It's Jeff.
That was pretty good. The pitch, you pitch corrected up a little bit, but I like it. Creative freedom with it. Jacob in here wanted to know Tyler Boyd or Zay Jones, full PPR. Joey, Tyler Boyd or Zay Jones? Zay Jones, who is active?
Tyler Boyd question today.
Yeah, it'll be Zay Jones for me. Tyler Boyd, with Jamar Chase being out, this is where we expected him to show up. He should have shown up, and he didn't. And now that Jamar Chase is back, it's hard to really trust Boyd as much as we could when he wasn't there. Listen, Zay Jones had a bad game last week, but the weeks prior to that, he's looked really well as a big part of this Jacksonville offense. So I like Zay Jones a lot today.
Oh, dang.
John,
we hit?
Oh, no.
I don't think so. Let's hit it.
Woo, Terry coming in with the super chat.
We're sorry, Terry. We didn't mean to miss that.
So sorry, Terry. Appreciate you coming in with the support, my friend. Terry wanted to know full PPR, James Cook or Jamal Williams. JL? I'm going to throw this one to Jamal Williams since you complained. Oh, and you came in anyways.
Yeah.
You paused a little too long.
It's going to be Jamal Williams. 4 straight games with at least 1 touchdown. And Minnesota, they're middle of the road against running backs. So Jamal Williams can definitely get some work, as well as DeAndre Swift today. That doesn't discourage me, though. Start Jamal Williams.
Yeah, it's Jamal Williams. I'm agreeing with both of you guys. James Cook is a fine fill-in play. Jamal Williams is a guy that I'm trying to get into a lot of my lineups, even with DeAndre Swift back. His role, we've seen what he does, whether Swift is healthy or not. Maybe his upside goes down a little bit, but he's still the touchdown guy. And I would fully expect a Jamal Williams touchdown in today's game. We had another question in here. This one coming from Frank the Tank. What up, Frank the Tank? Said need 3 out of these running backs: DeAndre Swift, Miles Sanders, Travis Homer, Damian Pierce, and Isaiah Pacheco. Joey, need 3 of those running back. Which 3 are you starting?
I'm going to sit Pierce. Read those last 3 names again, because I want to start Pacheco in the first 2 guys.
DeAndre Swift, Miles Sanders, Travis Homer, Isaiah Pierce, or Damian Pierce and Isaiah Pacheco.
I'm sitting Homer and Pierce.
John Luke, what about you?
I'm with Joey. It's the first 2 and the last one.
I'm with you guys. It's going to be Swift, Sanders, and Pacheco for me as well.
Let's go.
In full PPR, he added, and I'm still rolling that way.
Mm-hmm.
We've got another question in here. This one from Joseph. Joseph said, with Kenneth Walker out, should I go Corey Davis, Richie James, Devin Duvernay, or Tony Jones to fill that flex? Dale, of those options, Corey Davis, Richie James, Devin Duvernay, or Tony Jones, which way would you be rolling?
Oh boy, I'm gonna go with I'm going to go with Tony Jones. I'm going to go with Corey Davis.
Tony Jones and Corey Davis. I think it's only one. Which one would be your preferred?
Then I'd go Corey Davis.
Full agreement.
Yep, it's going to be Corey
the
Davis.
most upside of all these
well.
options.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Tony Jones has upside, but it's a lot of risk with that upside.
Yeah, absolutely. Shregi wanted to know Isaiah Pacheco or Rashad White. So we've talked about Rashad White having a very tough matchup. John Luke, are you rolling out Pacheco over him? Are you Pacheco? Joey, what about you?
Yes, it's nice and easy Pacheco.
It's Pacheco. Has anybody called him the breadcrumbs yet?
No.
Because that'd be
no, I don't believe so.
Like panko bread, but it's like Pacheco. Kind of sounds like panko bread.
I like.
Thank you.
Mac and cheese with Isaiah Pacheco.
Pacheco. You just got to add an N in there. Change that C to a K. You got it figured out. I'm going Pacheco as well here. Grim fan also came in and said Bills will choke today. Jets, Jets. We got some Jets love in the chat this morning.
Enthusiasm, even if you're wrong. Wow.
And Better Boss had a question for us. J.K. Dobbins coming back from injury. Jerick McKinnon, the receiving back for the Kansas City Chiefs, or Travis Homer, running back, apparently second in line for the Seattle Seahawks after Tony Jones Jr. JL, who are you starting in PPR?
I'm starting Jerick McKinnon. Guys, you can't trust J.K. Dobbins coming back. We have to wait and see on that. Jerick McKinnon has been decent, even though it's a tough matchup against Denver. I expect him to make it work, and I expect this Chiefs to make it work against Denver Broncos. There are a few teams that can just go up against a wildly good defense like this and still have the upside, and Chiefs are absolutely one of those teams.
I'm with you, JL. I'm rolling Jerick McKinnon. He's got that receiving work on lock, so he's the one I feel the most comfortable with their role in this game. And there's upside.
Just hope he doesn't run straight into the lineman again.
Yeah, he's got to avoid that. And the Kansas City Chiefs just have upside built in being on that offense. Joey, what about you?
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you guys. It's between Homer and McKinnon for me. And I would just lean McKinnon ever slow slightly.
Slow slightly.
Great question.
I'm with you guys. Adam wanted to know Leonard Fournette or Bam Knight in PPR. John Luke, which way you rolling here?
Mr. Zonovan Knight or Joey's wife, I guess. Zonovan Knight over the other name. Fournette, that's what it was. Risk.
Yeah, it's
Bam Knight for me as well. Joey, you agree?
Yeah, it's my wife Knight. The reason it's Bethany and Marie. That's why it's Bam, and no dirty boys out there. I see all your comments. Yeah.
Terry in here. Yeah, that was brave saying that your wife's nickname was Bam in a show.
I realized as soon as it came out of my mouth, I should not have said it.
Terry in here had a question for us. Goff, Brady, or Mac Jones? Joey, take it away. Who's it going to be?
Jared Bartholomew Goff. Yeah.
JL,
Jared Goff's he's a top 6. Is he 6 now? I think he's top 7 quarterback for me this week. Love Jared Goff. It's a huge matchup.
With you, Joey. Party horn.
Terry, if the party horn wasn't enough to convince you, the over-under for that game should do the trick. In the Lions-Vikings game, set at 51.5 points. Ooh. Lions 1.5 point favorites.
That's a lot of points.
Give me Jared Goff.
Mamma mia.
That's a lot of points in my pasta.
Too much of points in my pasta.
Jacob in here had a question for us as well. Jacob wanted to know Singletary or Fournette in a PPR league. Which way you rolling, John Luke?
I'm not in the question.
Okay, so take JL out of it. Would you start Singletary or Leonard Fournette?
All right, out of those two players, Singletary. I'm going to go Singletary here. He looks good. The Jets is middle of the pack against the running back position. Good defense, but you can beat them. It's on the ground.
Joe, you agreeing?
Yeah, Singletary. I was trying to figure out what getting the game what the 4 goal means.
Fournette.
I'm gonna use that.
That's a net emoji. Joey's like net. 4 goal, 4 frame.
4 goal. What does it mean?
No, I'm gonna roll Singletary here. He's the starting back for that team. Fournette is not the starter and coming back from injury, was questionable to even play this week.
You say Fournette's not the starter?
I didn't say that. The Bucs said that. I'm just
believe
repeating what the Bucs said. They said Rachaad White is their starter. So I'm just repeating. I'm just the bearer of the news, JL. I don't determine it.
I got you.
At least not in that case.
My
Damon
eyes
here.
tell me Rachaad White too.
Also, we got Tim in here. Said she just got here. Start over.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll start over real quick.
Whatever that intro music.
No one's having more fun than these guys.
No, it's
Boom!
That was my Nando impression.
It's pretty good.
Tim in here said, quick question,
Garbage
Dale.
Pail
Why
Kids.
must you root against the Dolphins and my heart?
I don't root against
We're
the
not rooting
Dolphins
against
in your heart.
Are you rooting against
Because
the
I'm wearing the
Dolphins
Charger
today?
jersey
Yeah.
or Mike Williams, but I want your Dolphins to win.
I'm
There we
rooting for
go.
the Dolphins tonight, Tim. Keep it in state.
Dame said, in a win and get a bye scenario, I am rolling out Fournette and Rachaad White. Convince me I can win. So here's how I'm going to convince you, Dame. You are in a position where your team could get a bye, which means the rest of your team is probably so good that it's not going to matter that you have to start these options, because I can't convince you that they're both great options this week. JL, what about you? Can you come up with a more convincing argument than to be in this position, you must have a great team?
Dame, listen to me. Fournette and Rachaad White are going to absolutely destroy these 49ers. 49ers aren't going to know what. You're going to win.
You got it. Joey, any words of encouragement as the Bucs fan for starting both of them?
No, you're screwed.
Sorry. Guys, if you're enjoying the show and you enjoy other shows on BSN, there is good news. There's a holiday subscription discount all the way through December 25th. It's a gift for new subscribers, so you can get a free 90-day trial when you sign up for that monthly subscription. Hear all of our talk shows whenever you want on demand, plus exclusive interviews, features, and special events. All you got to do is enter the holiday or the code HOLIDAYS when signing up for a monthly subscription right here on the BSN app. That is code HOLIDAYS. You get all of that on demand.
It's a perfect gift for moms. Moms love us.
Moms do love us.
Yeah.
We are
really
mom
do.
friendly here. We got another question in here from Grim Fan. Grim Fan said, right now I am playing Kirk in the flex and Amari Cooper. Should I move Kirk up and bench Cooper and then play Latavius Murray or ETN? So the option is play Kirk and Cooper or play Kirk and ETN or Latavius Murray. JL, what are you doing here?
I think I would play. I'm sorry. You'll have to list it again. I lost the question.
So it's Kirk and Amari Cooper. So basically it comes down to Cooper or ETN or Latavius Murray.
ETN.
Yeah, I think I roll ETN out there over Amari Cooper as well. Joey, do you agree?
Yeah, that's the move I would make. I'm keeping Christian Kirk in my lineup and I'm subbing ETN out for Amari Cooper. I don't like him on the road, so.
Guys, rapid fire. We got 30 seconds left here, but Tony Jones or Juju Smith-Schuster, full PPR. Where are you rolling, Joey?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
It's going to be Juju for me as well. Everybody who came in and hung out with us bright and early this morning, we thank you so much. We will be back live tomorrow, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern time for the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. But there is a full day of live action game watch party content here on Better Sports Network. So stick around here. Enjoy your Week 14. Good luck in your matchup. And we will see you guys bright and early Monday morning.